It's the Mixed Martial Arts Hour with
The Mixed Martial Arts Hour is back in your life on this Monday, July 22nd, 2024. Hello again, everyone. I sure hope you're doing well. I am doing well, and if I'm being honest, I am so happy to be sitting in this chair today. Oh, I wasn't sure if it was going to happen. I am very, very happy to be here, and I'll explain why in a moment. Hope you all had a lovely weekend, last few days, and we've got a lot to discuss on this Monday. Just back from Tampa, lots to get into. Final stop for me before Paris 2024, and we'll get into all of that and more. Like I said, a lot to talk about, a lot to digest and dissect and break down. So let's get into it. As always, we are presented by our good friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of not only this program, but the UFC as well. Please download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and thank them for their continued support. Back into the show. Well, it might happen in the first hour. I don't know. Maybe back in. We'll see how the boys did. I think rumor has it the Parlay Pals are on fire. Or is it the boys?
Who, me?
I'll never know. We'll never know. Boys, pals, whatever it is. I think they're on fire right now. So that's good to see. Kayla Harrison is going to join us at 3:30. And I love the fact that Kayla Harrison is joining us today for multiple reasons. Number one, she's one of my favorite guests. Number two, we had an in-studio guest last Monday who had some things to say about her, and so it will be great to get her response. And number three, I don't know if you know this, but she's quite the decorated Olympian. She won 2 Olympic gold medals in 2012 and 2016, and so I thought it'd be fun to reminisce. The Olympics, by the way, begin in just a few days' time, the opening ceremony, and it's not ceremonies, it's ceremony. And by the way, you can't be a former Olympian. Once an Olympian, always an Olympian. Okay, these are just some tips. Actually, I think the games start on Wednesday or Thursday. Definitely Thursday, maybe even Wednesday. I know Canada women's soccer team is playing New Zealand on Thursday, but the ceremony is on Friday, and it's an actual unique ceremony. I think it's one of the biggest ones and the most unique ones of all time because they'll be on boats. Not necessarily the walking around the track type of thing. And if you're watching in Canada, you will see me there, which I'm looking forward to as well. So a lot of Olympic talk on today's program. Prior to that, we're going to be joined by Terence Bud Crawford, who may in fact be the best boxer on the planet. Pound for pound, a lot of people have him number one. It's interchangeable, if you ask me, between Terence, Alexander Usyk, and Naoya Inoue. It's almost like every time one of the other fights, like if Terence fights on August 3rd, which is when he's planning on fighting again at the BMO Stadium in Los Angeles, he'll go number one after a win if he wins. And then Usyk fights, he wins, he goes one. It's a 3-horse race. Anyway, Terence Crawford is moving up now to 154 after becoming the undisputed champion at 147. He defeated Errol Spence almost exactly 1 year ago today. Like the 29th, I think, of July it was. And he hasn't fought since. And so now he's moving up to 154 to fight champion over there, Israil Madrimov, who won the belt on the Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua card in Riyadh. A great fight. Only 11 pro fights for Madrimov from Uzbekistan, but a very, very tough out. This is not a gimme fight at all. And it's a great card. We had Jared Anderson on the show on Wednesday to talk about his fight against Martin Bakole. You have the likes of Andy Ruiz on there, Jarrell Miller, Andy Cruz, David Morrell, Pitbull Cruz, Isak Cruz, who probably gave Tank Davis one of his toughest fights of the last few years. So it's a really great card. That's August 3rd in Los Angeles, part of the outside of Riyadh season tour. The other one going down September 21st in Wembley. So Bud Crawford, who actually made a cameo on WWE's SmackDown this past Friday, will join us at 3 o'clock. Always a pleasure to be joined by one of the best boxers in the world. Oban Elliott, the Welsh gangster, is returning on Saturday at UFC 304. We're on the road to UFC 304 as well. That's going down at the Co-op Live Arena. Co-op Live Arena. It's a brand new arena in Manchester, giving the old MEN a run for its money. I hear it's fantastic. Well, I heard on this show from Aspinall told us last week. It was great. And Oban Elliott, who was successful in his UFC debut back in February. Remember, he was the big Chael Sonnen fan, pro wrestling fan. Emotional interview before and after. Great guy. Met him virtually. He returns this Saturday against Preston Parsons on the Manchester card, and he'll join us at 2:30. At 2 o'clock, we'll have the great Arnold Allen. Always love talking to Arnold. He's returning to fight Giga Chikadze on the main card on Saturday. There was a few tweets that I saw, people asking about the Mohamed Mokaev fight against Manel Kape, because I guess it wasn't on the graphic during the Apex show on Saturday, but I'm told that fight is not in jeopardy. It may have been bumped from the main card to the prelims, but the fight is still on. And it's a very good card. It's a very good card this Saturday. Leon Edwards defending his welterweight title against Bilal Muhammad, who's been talking a big game about Leon. So let's see how it plays out. Obviously, they fought a couple of years ago during the pandemic. The fight ended unceremoniously due to a accidental eye poke, and so they get to run it back here for the belt. Massive stakes. Tom Aspinall against Curtis Blades for the interim heavyweight title, a.k.a. the real heavyweight title. Bobby Green, well, he's now known as King Green, it appears. He has changed his name legally. He's got a big fight against Paddy Pimblett, who has not fought since December of this past year. Big opportunity for Paddy to get back on track, who appears to be in fantastic shape. Both Paddy and Molly appear to be in phenomenal shape. And Christian Leroy Duncan against Gregory Rodriguez, Arnold Allen against Giga Chikadze, Mohamed Mokaev against Manel Kape, the new father, Nathaniel Wood against Daniel Pineda, Molly McCann against Bruno Brazil. I mean, it's a great card. Kalen Lochran against Jake Hadley. That's a late replacement fight. McParkin, Oban Elliott, Sam Patterson, Kiefer Crosby, Shauna Bannon on there. I mean, one of the better UK offerings. Modestus, Bukauskas, and yes, it is happening in the middle of the night, but I think the Manchester crowd will be okay. So all that and more to come on today's program. But let's talk about this past weekend. Wednesday, we had the show. Thursday morning, I went to Tampa for the Jake Paul, Mike Perry fight. Landed. We were staying in an old courthouse, a courthouse that was turned into a hotel. Le Méridien, it was called. It's very nice. Tampa's very quiet. I don't know if it was just the area that we're in or it's really hot and people aren't hanging out in July in Tampa, but it was very quiet. The streets were very quiet. It was great to see some old friends like Casey Leiden of MMA Fighting, Esther Lynn, Scott Hirano, and others. Landed, got changed, went to host the press conference, which was an interesting time. A lot of like innuendo, potty talk, which I don't know why it always has to go in that direction, but it did at times. But I thought overall it was fairly entertaining. This came after Conor McGregor was a part of a press conference in Marbella, Spain, to announce a show over there, and he kind of teed up some of the fodder by saying that Michael Perry was going to be fighting a little twerp, and so that led to some talk at the press conference. We did successfully shut down a YouTube or a social media. I don't know. I don't know if it was like he's like 11 years old, or I don't know if he was just small. I don't know. It was a kid. And I've told you how I feel about those questions at the press conferences, and so being up there and being the man with the microphone, I was able to successfully thwart the attempt to create a viral moment. I guess it turned out to be a viral moment in my favor, though. So it was a win-win for at least me. Just don't like those disrespectful questions to the fighters, to any fighter. I don't care who it is. Not funny, not the time, not the plays. Although Mike Perry was a good sport about everything that was thrown his way. I was saying to some people, including maybe Rick, this event in particular, but often when you go to these types of events, and I know there's people saying like, hey, you go to the circus, you have to expect clowns. I get that, but it does feel like you're traversing through a minefield of stupidity at times, because there's all types of people coming at you with cameras and playing pranks and doing all kinds of stuff, and it's just like, I just want to work and go back to my room. That would be nice. But it's good to have fun. It's good to not take yourself too seriously. It's just a lot of it as opposed to your typical event. But overall, it was. I thought it was a really nicely produced event. The weigh-ins, in particular, that screen that they used with the weights calculating in front of us, that was really nice. And was happy to be a part of it. The crowd was fantastic. The crowd was absolutely amazing. I mean, I've been to enough boxing shows at this point to know that common practice is the place is like 80% empty come the co-main. I was at Canelo Munguia in May in Vegas, and I swear there were 1,000 people there for the co-main. And then it all fills up by the time the co-main is like winding down and then the main event starts. Here, it was probably 70% full for the prelims, like the YouTube prelims. And then they got to the main card at 9 and the place was like 95% full. And then by the time the main event happened, it was 100% full. They announced the sellout and the place was electric. It really is more of an MMA crowd, a UFC crowd, really, more so than anything. The fans come early, they're hot throughout, they're into it, and it peaks for the main event. So I can't say enough about that, and impressive that they were able to do that, considering the fact that a month ago, this date was happening in Arlington, Texas. It was supposed to be the Tyson fight at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. They switched states, they switched cities, they switched venues. It's a new fight, a new card. Got to give the powers that be, got to give them credit for that. That's not an easy thing to do in a month. And it was also interesting for me because I wasn't expecting to be a part of the comms, and I got to sit there for the entire main card, which I did enjoy, getting to work with Todd Grisham and Gabe Rosado, Tyron Woodley, our old pal. And, I try not to speak about the technical side of things, but more, storylines, filling in the blanks, a little bit of color, and enjoyed it. And very much enjoyed doing the post-fight interviews. That's my favorite thing, the locker room stuff. It's a really great time. But I have to say that my mind was a little bit preoccupied. And this is why I'm so happy to be sitting here, because when I woke up on Friday, so I've been stressing about this particular weekend, no joke, for 4 months. I'd been stressing about this weekend for 4 months because my kids were in summer camp, and the 21st of July, yesterday, was the pickup date. And it's a very exciting thing. You get to see them for the first time in a month. They give you a big hug. They're very dirty. They're smelly. They're sweaty. They're like the Peanuts character, the one that has the smoke following them. I'm not sure which one that is. It's not Linus. It's someone. He walks around and they're smoke. That's what they...
Pigpen.
What is it? What is it?
Pigpen.
Pigpen?
Yes, Pigpen.
Well, that's what they look like. Thank you. And I just wanted to be there for that. And so I was worried that I wouldn't. And then I'm stressing about it because I'm just a natural stressor. And then I wake up on Friday and there's the largest IT outage in the history of the world, in the history of mankind. And I'm like, please. And then everyone's like, yeah, we're going to be stuck here till Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm like, what? Please no. Of course, I have to be here. I have to go to Paris tomorrow. I can't be stuck there Tuesday, Wednesday. I hate the Tampa Bay Rays. I don't want to be there longer than I have to. So what I did was, if you must know, if you want to know, do you care to know, Frank?
Please.
I bought a second flight. I was on a Delta flight, and I bought a JetBlue flight because I was on this website called flightaware.com. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah.
I've never seen it before, but in all the articles about all the flights getting canceled because of this IT outage, they kept referencing FlightAware. So I kept going on FlightAware, and I was tracking all the flights and seeing which were getting canceled, delayed, etc. And it seemed like JetBlue was less affected than Delta. So I bought a JetBlue flight at around the same time, and I was flying from Tampa to Boston, and then I was going to get picked up and drive the 2 hours to Western Mass to be there for my kids' pickup at the camp. And so I'm tracking this. And so the whole night I keep tracking it. I'm checking my phone. I probably shouldn't have been doing this, if I'm being honest, but I was so worried to be stuck there. I kept tracking. Okay, and the fight ends, and we'll get to the fight obviously in a second. And then I get back to my room, and then I get one text that my Delta flight has been delayed, and then I get a second text that the JetBlue flight has been delayed. I'm like,
Man.
I'm screwed. I'm so nervous. I'm so afraid. Luckily, the JetBlue flight got delayed till 10, from 7:45 to 10. The Delta flight, 7 to 8:21. And so it worked out to where I made it I was a little bit late, But then I was afraid that the flight would get canceled. I'd get stranded. I would be stuck in Boston. What the hell am I doing in Boston? I don't live in Boston. But it worked out, got the car. And I actually landed and I had to go on a 2-hour car ride, Uber ride. And for whatever reason, the whole ride was about the Bible. And the driver just wanted to talk about the Old Testament and the New Testament and God.
Shout out.
And it was just, I was like, man, I have not slept. And
You didn't tell him that you just needed a rest?
we got into it, Frank. We got
Wow.
into it, yeah, in a big way. I mean, we were getting into it. Heaven, hell.
I always just like, hey, my earbuds are going in. If you need something, can you?
No, he was
flag
so
me in the
he was
rearview
so
mirror.
passionate about the Bible that we just got into it, and I
Is
felt
that why
bad.
the drive was 2 hours?
No, it was just a 2-hour drive.
Oof.
Yeah, and but luckily I got there, and then I had to drive 4 hours home from Western Mass back home. Get ready for today. I mean, it's been a journey. I'm very tired, but anyway, that's why it all worked out. I'm very thankful because I know a lot of people got stuck this past week and are still stuck and scrambling. I still don't know how that happened, but it's a crazy time we're living in. I mean, I don't know if you heard, but Joe Biden has pulled out of the presidential race. Did you guys hear?
Yeah, I might have heard that.
I mean, that, in addition to
No, I
my
actually
travel,
didn't hear that. This is
Connor,
breaking
you
news
missed
to me.
that one?
okay, so yeah, so
This
so
is,
okay.
You guys are breaking the news.
Okay, so
Holy
here's the
shit.
thing. Joe Biden's 81. People are concerned about his health, his cognitive. And so he announced yesterday on Twitter, of all places, actually X.
He's already dead.
No, he's not. How dare you, Frank? That's not nice,
Wow,
Frank.
Frank,
I mean,
disrespectful, man.
He's got COVID right now, and you're making jokes.
yeah,
like that? I
yeah,
mean,
come on.
Bad for him.
That was Joe?
Bad for him.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, he's out. I don't know if you need to talk to anyone about this, Connor, but
Yeah, I probably should. I should probably.
he's still going to be president until January, but he's out of the race.
Who's stepping in for him?
I heard Danny Gay. I'm just joking.
That was a good joke that
It
was
was a
that was
good-
circulating.
Yeah, like 48 hours ago. No, not 48. 24 hours ago. Kamala Harris, not to be confused with Kamala, the pro wrestler back in the day. That was the mistake I always made when she first emerged. Montreal resident back in the day, Kamala Harris. So
She's
yes.
getting a lot of endorsements right now from the Democrats.
Speaking of which, I did have an opportunity to shake the hand of the Hulkster, Terry Bollea, at the event. For a brief moment, I contemplated asking for a selfie, but I didn't want to get canceled, so I didn't. I just shook his hand.
I think it's a smart move.
The Haktua girl was also there.
Did you get a selfie with her?
I didn't. No.
That's a selfie worth getting.
Yeah, I didn't get it. Yeah, I
Oh,
was
you
very,
blew it.
I was very
blew it.
professional. I was very professional. I kept it down the middle.
I feel so horrible for this
Nah, she's cool.
lovely young
Listen,
woman's
I heard how
dad.
much they paid her to come.
I
She's
was
doing all
about to
right.
Say, I don't
She's
feel
doing-
bad for her at all because I'm pretty sure she's getting a paycheck. She
No,
went
I don't
on
feel
Jake
bad for
Paul's
her.
podcast afterward.
I don't feel bad for her. I feel bad for her dad. I feel bad for her dad.
Bro, I saw a picture of her family members wearing Haktua 24 hats. They don't
Yeah.
seem too torn up about it.
I don't think.
Listen, if I was in their shoes, I'd be doing the same thing. You have to, like, this unavoidable, but like, there's a part of me that just like,
you're saying like silence. Once you get back to the hotel room, you look.
yeah,
in the
you cry in
mirror,
the room.
You take
cry in
off.
the
You
room.
take off the Hawk 224.
They seem to be
hat,
okay.
and
She's
you're
doing
kinda
great
like,
things for
am I
charities. I
doing?
saw like for Petco or something. So she's doing fine. And
God bless.
she's getting paid. Like she's getting paid more than us, the broadcasters, being there just to sit there
It's
and
crazy.
I think do
It's
the.
crazy. For like a 15-second
pod.
interview.
No, they did a BS pod afterwards.
No. I'm saying she's famous for like a 15.
Oh,
second
got it.
clip.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
So, all right. So, eventful weekend. Now let's get into the fights. And obviously, the big story: Jake Paul stops Mike Perry, 6-round TKO. But it was never really close, right? And the buildup was definitely interesting. And I thought Mike had a great week. I thought Mike held his own. I thought the back and forth stuff was great. He rose to the occasion. He seemed like a star. I mean, he announced a new promotion on Friday. I was there at the press conference, the Dirty Boxing Championship, or is it Dirty Boxing Promotion? A whole new rule set. It's sort of like Karate Combat, but a little bit different. There's no ground stuff, but there are elbows. There's ground and pound standing. Anyway, he announced this on Friday before the fight. So he was really taking advantage of the moment. I know he got paid pretty well. Good for him. And even, the weigh-ins, he came in a little under 200. Jake actually initially missed and then hit the 200. It was a bit of a struggle for him. And so, there were a lot of questions about how this fight would look. A lot of people actually were saying that, Mike had a great chance. I thought I was worried about the fact that as good as he is in bare knuckle, and obviously he had the UFC run, boxing is different. And say what you will about Jake Paul, he is of the two the more technical boxer and the more experienced boxer because he, at the time, had like 9 pro fights under his belt. And so I was worried that the style wouldn't translate into the sweet science. But a lot of smart people, by the way, were saying that Perry was going to win. A lot of people were predicting a Perry win. A lot of people in MMA were predicting a Perry win. In fact, our good friend Michael Bisping was predicting a Perry win. Actually, I think he said he was going to beat him quite convincingly, right? Did he not say that? I think he said that. Something to that effect?
He said he would destroy him.
We have the clip. Oh, we have the clip. Here's Michael Bisping before the fight. Check it out.
Made a tremendous mistake here because
play from the beginning because we just want to make sure who's making the mistake.
He's not afraid to make. So Jake Paul,
okay,
I think he's made a tremendous mistake here because he's a real fighter. He's going to get in shape. He's not afraid to mix it up, and he's going to go right at Jake Paul, not the way Nate Diaz did. He's going to go forward with close, tight, sharp, powerful hooks. He's going to be in shape. The man's got a chin, and the fire still burns. Mike Perry's a brawler, man. Mike Perry's going to get in his face. Mike Perry, if this fight actually does go down, Mike Perry is going to destroy Jake Paul.
You see?
You heard it here first.
You heard it there first. So a lot of people were predicting, a lot of smart people in the business were predicting a Mike Perry win. In the end, it, of course, wasn't really that close. And it was really Mike Perry's heart, his will, his determination that carried him to the 6 rounds. Most people, I think, would have crumbled in the first or second, considering the shots that he was eating and absorbing. And I do wonder in retrospect if Mike will have regrets, if the moment got to him, if something was off, because he didn't even fight the way he fights in bare knuckle. He was very upright. He was very flat-footed. I know he's not the most technical of boxers, but he wasn't moving his head all that much. And he was just eating a lot of these shots. And I was worried that he was out on his feet in the second, the third round, made it all the way to the 6th, some way, somehow, and just kept on coming. And despite what Jake said afterwards, there had to have been a thought or two in his head saying, what do I have to do to put this guy away? The word zombie gets used a lot in fighting, but that is the best way to describe what Mike Perry was on Saturday. He just would not give up, even though he was taking a tremendous amount of damage. And I hope he takes the rest of the year off. There was some talk of him returning in October. I know there was a big fight discussed for him in bare knuckle. I don't think that, October's in 3 months. Considering the punishment that he took in that fight with the quote unquote pillows, he needs some time off, in my opinion, after that fight. And so Jake wins once again. He beats another MMA fighter, now 5-0 against MMA fighters, 6-0 total because he had the rematch with Woodley. The size difference was very noticeable. Mike Perry is a natural 170-pounder. I know he's fought at 185, but this is what we were talking about before the fight. Size, clearly a factor in the power that he possesses. And it was never really truly close. Now, it was a little bit more fun to watch than the Diaz fight, mainly because of Perry bringing it and never giving up. But it was never really close. Afterwards, Jake Paul reiterated that he's fighting Mike Tyson on November 15th. But he did throw us a curveball because he said he wanted Alex Pereira. Now, I will say right here and now, sign me up for that. I would love that. I would take that fight over the Tyson fight any day. I would take the KSI fight over the Tyson fight any day. I don't think either of them are happening, and I think neither of them have a good chance of happening anytime soon, it seems. The Pereira one in particular. The KSI one is easy to make, and that's the legacy fight. I do wonder if Jake is just too big at this point. I don't see how that guy gets to 185 at this point, but it just seems like the egos and everyone involved, it's just nowhere near happening, despite the fact that they both fight on the same platform. You would think that would make it easy, but it just seems so far apart. The Pereira one, the obvious hurdle is the UFC. Now, I know the UFC did it once before for Conor McGregor. They ain't doing it again, and they certainly ain't doing it for Alex Pereira. And they certainly ain't doing it for Alex Pereira as UFC light heavyweight champion to fight Jake Paul. And so I know that most people will be like, well, of course you'll call out Alex Pereira. The fight's never going to happen. So you're just doing it for clout. Perhaps. I just wasn't expecting that call out. I wasn't expecting that name to come out of his mouth. I thought, obviously Tyson, maybe KSI, and, I don't know. Chavez called him out earlier. I don't know if there's a lot of interest in that, but, something of that nature. So I would love to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen. Credit to Melissa Henricks, who used to work for the UFC and now works in operations for MVP. She called Ed Soares from the ring on FaceTime and told him about the call out, and Alex was with him, and that's how the whole FaceTime bit happened. Totally spontaneous, wild, and that was great. And it seemed, Alex posted it on his page as well. What did you guys think, Rick? What did you think of the fight?
I enjoyed it. I learned some things about Jake Paul that I can finally feel like I have a better handle on and sense on moving forward.
Like what?
That I have been fooled or victim of the idea that, like, all other things equal, if there's somebody who's tough, they're going to beat Jake Paul. I don't consider Jake Paul, or did not previously consider Jake Paul, like, particularly tough. Like, if you put him in there with a guy like Mike Perry, or even like an Anderson Silva or somebody else, that they are just going to be tough, and he's not. And ultimately, like, he has shown through multiple performances, but this one in particular was the one I was most interested to see, that, like, you have to box him. You can't beat him by being tough. Now, granted, there's some things working in his favor, right? The size advantage was huge and played a huge factor. But the only loss on his record is to somebody who's just a better boxer, or somebody who's at least an equal boxer to him in Tommy Fury. You're not going to get it done by just being an MMA fighter or this or that, and not being a better boxer. So I'm comfortable to put that to rest. Because even though Mike Perry's an underdog, I think a lot of people were picking him to at least press and be able to out-tough Jake Paul, and he just wasn't. He was not able to do that. And I think that's something of note for Jake Paul. So whoever ends up beating him next, if they are able to, it's going to be a boxer. And we can I'm comfortable saying, like, I'm not interested in the idea of, like, just somebody who's tough going in there with him.
I couldn't agree more. I think we've sort of graduated from these fights at this point. It's just not going to happen anymore. I think we learned, well, some people learned, BKFC isn't boxing. BKFC is closer to MMA than it is to boxing. You can get away with being wild and reckless, shorter rounds, all that stuff. It's different. And I'm not going to sit here and say Jake Paul is a top 10 cruiserweight, but he's a lot further along than everyone who's stepping in the ring with him here. Now, I know they're picking the opponent, and so there's a reason for that, but I just don't want to necessarily see those types of fights anymore for him. I'm curious. We got into this argument, like, about the Andre August and the Ryan Borlands of the world, like the boring fights. Obviously, we want to see people who are a little further along, or at least I do. But I'm ready to see him just fight a 10th ranked cruiserweight. Let's just see it. I'm
still not there.
But I know the Perry fight probably sells more tickets and sells more pay-per-views. Regardless, the idea of, like, okay, who's the next MMA fighter who can step in there? I don't think it's going to happen because he's more technical than them. He has more boxing skills than them.
They will not beat him just by being tough guys. That's just.
How do you think a fight against Alex Pereira goes?
Oh, stop.
No, I'm asking.
He's asleep in 2 minutes.
Who's he?
Jake Paul.
Okay, but you just said the MMA fighters don't do well.
No, we're talking about a different caliber here, right?
I don't know. I just wanted to make sure. That's why I'm asking the question.
The former middleweight and current light heavyweight champion of the UFC who nukes this is not. All MMA fighters are not equal. Yes, like, we're not.
Okay, I just wanted to, for the record. I didn't want someone to be like, I was just asking the question.
Also, the size advantage is eliminated at that point as well.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, well, speaking of the size advantage, there isn't a 205 pounder. At this point, he's in the 205 range more than the 85 range. It started in the 85 range, but he's gotten a lot bigger now. There's no like free agent out there that, Darren Till, he's bigger than Darren Till. He's bigger than Luke Rockhold. He's bigger than all these guys who come out of the woodwork every time he fights and say that they want to beat him and that he's afraid of them and all that stuff. And so, yeah, 205, and there's no one out there outside of the UFC that is of interest, right? So I don't want to see him fight a 70-pounder or an 85-pounder anymore. The Pereira fight would be awesome. Do you guys agree that the Pereira fight, at least to us, is more interesting than the Tyson fight?
Yes.
I think it's yes.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
I was gonna say I think it is to everyone, but no, the Tyson fight is just, it breaks so much into the mainstream of people wanting, or people that are going to watch it, that of course it's not bigger.
So a further example of that, earlier today, I'm talking to a photographer for my son's bar mitzvah next year. And he's like, oh, we start talking about social media and all this stuff. And then he like thinks about it. He's like, oh, you're the guy who does the Jake Paul fights? Oh, I can't wait for that Tyson fight. When is it happening? It always comes back to that. And so you're right, GC, you're right. That fight, the Tyson fight is not for us. It is not for this audience. It's not for the three of us. It just isn't. It's for people like that. It's for the soccer parents that I talk about.
100%. This weekend I was at a dinner and there was TVs on, and there was they were playing, the main card was on ESPN for UFC. I mentioned it during one of the fights or whatever, and we watched like a crazy knockout or anything. First question the kid that I was with asked, is the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight still happening? I was like, actually, Jake Paul's fighting tonight, and he had no idea, didn't care, just wanted to know when the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight was.
Yeah.
You asked if it's more interesting, like, I guess a little bit, but like, I'm not that interested in seeing Alex Pereira kill him either. Like, there's certainly a crowd.
I think a lot of people would be.
Yeah.
That will be interested. I don't
that,
care.
That would think
like,
that.
I already know that
people
Alex
would love
Pereira,
that. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not saying that people won't love that. What I'm saying is I don't love that. I don't care to. Do I need to see that Alex Pereira can kill Jake Paul? No, I don't need to see. Like, I know this. This is an objective truth. I don't care.
In MMA, become an even bigger babyface by knocking out Jake Paul.
Listen, I am admitting you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Everybody who wants to see that outcome play out, that this predetermined outcome play out, I understand. I get it. I totally get it. I don't need to see Alex Pereira kill him to know that Alex Pereira can kill him. That's just.
It's not to know. It's not even to know. I think people just want to see it happen. So they're like, who's the sure thing? Who's the sure thing that can end this? And you're right, GC. Like, Alex Pereira, some way, somehow gets this done. I think it's a long shot, just based off the UFC stance on these fights and how they feel about Jake in particular. I mean, build the statue of him in front of the Apex, right? Like, build the gold. Like, he will be. He's the guy like that is in front of I was in Tampa. They have some player, I don't know who it is. I didn't look at the name, but like holding the Stanley Cup. Like, he's the guy that's in front of the stadium. Like, you make that the 85 champ, the 205 champ, the guy who killed Jake Paul, and then the heavyweight champ. Like, there'll be no greater legend in the history of the sport. I just.
There's two reasons it would never happen. Number one, if you do, let's say it's even like you just lend Alex Pereira, you're now giving legitimacy to both Jake Paul and MVP, and Dana White and the UFC would never do that. You just can't do that. What is the point of that? You can't say, hey, we are your fighter versus our fighter. You're now elevating them to a level that you don't need to elevate them to. And secondarily, there's this impression, or Jake Paul, I think, and his team would push this narrative that like they're a thorn in the UFC side by Jake Paul continuing to be like, Dana White, you need to fight for fighters' rights and this, that, the other. There's been no real like traction on anything that happens there. There's actually no like way that he's actually a thorn in the UFC side or Dana White side. Like, business has continued as usual, and in fact has continued to like grow and grow and grow and grow. So Jake Paul's not actually like a thorn to the UFC. So therefore, why even address or acknowledge him? That would be silly. Like, just continue doing business and don't even give him that opportunity. So it just doesn't make sense.
I'll tell you this much.
Make any sense.
Better chance of Conor McGregor versus Jake Paul happening.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because for the longest time, Conor never addressed him. He definitely addressed him on Saturday, was very upset with Michael for losing. And, Mike Perry came out to a Bone Thugs song, and Bone Thugs has been signed by Conor's record label. Like they were on the same team. And I guess it kind of reminded me of like a cartoon where you send out the thug to take out your nemesis, and then it doesn't happen. He's been thwarted, and then you're like, I'm done with you. Eliminate him. That's kind of what it felt like.
Can I be honest? I don't think it had to do with the win or loss. It seems like he was much more upset about the dirty boxing thing, if I'm being honest.
Nah.
I don't think it was Jake Paul.
I think there's two things at play here. I think he was kind of like let down by the performance. I think that this is a seed for a potential Mike Perry, Conor McGregor bare knuckle fight or a Conor McGregor Jake Paul fight.
Sure, but you don't think that it's more like
they knew about that. They knew about that.
Compete in your smelly. We're showing it on screen here. Compete in your smelly, dirty boxing thing. Like I feel like it's BKFC owner upset with you're trying to put over this on our back. Like you're trying to get one over on us with this dirty boxing thing while we're paying the bills for you. I don't know.
No, I don't know about that.
I don't think Conor hates Jake Paul that much.
Jake has made
the first tweet, man.
Jake has made it pretty damn personal.
Yeah.
If
I call someone a piss bag,
he's talked about his family.
Connor would talk about you like that.
A fat can of bitch piss was how he ended the tweet.
So endearing.
I'm sure there's 3 people a week that get called that by Connor.
Well, so what did you guys think about Mike's performance? Were you surprised?
No, I wasn't.
No, not really. Like he wasn't really defensively sound,
but he was so upright. I don't know. Like he wasn't even at least, even in bare knuckle, like he's at least like this. His knees are bent. He was standing like this. I don't know what was going on.
He also got absolutely smashed and rocked in that first round. Yeah. It's kind of hard to recover after that. Like, he's fighting a bigger man that every time he gets on the inside, he's getting jabbed in the face, like pretty powerfully.
Yeah.
Some heavy punches coming his way. Like, that was what Mike Perry was going to do. And to his credit, he said he would and delivered on that. Like, that was kind of what I expected, to be honest, from a what was his game plan perspective. He bit down on his mouthpiece and tried to pressure Jake Paul. The problem is Jake Paul was like more competent than I think he and everybody else expected. And the most interesting thing to me, I think, was in the post fight when you were in there with them, and he said that Jake Paul was faster than he had thought he might be. So it's not just the power; it's actually that Jake Paul, like for a bigger man, is actually faster than Mike Perry. It's a tough night at the office, but like that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see if Mike Perry just puts pressure on Jake Paul, will he wilt? And no, he shined. He did not wilt at all. And so I wanted to see that. But kind of like the outcome may not be, exactly as expected, but the style was what it was going to be for Mike Perry.
Did Mike Perry's stock go down? Like, does this hurt him as a draw in bare knuckle?
Not in my opinion.
No.
No, I think he goes out there, he wins his next bare knuckle fight, and it's just back to your regular scheduled programming. He's just a much wealthier man after fighting Jake Paul.
Right.
Unless he's fired by Conor McGregor.
Is fired.
There's the Jake Paul stuff exists in its own universe for him and for everybody else. It's just not. It's not even related. Like Mike Perry goes off and does his own thing now.
Do you guys think that the Mike Tyson fight is bigger now because of this performance, or are most of the people who are interested in the Mike Tyson fight, let's be honest, they weren't even watching on Saturday?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't even think they know that the fight even happened.
Yeah.
I don't think it has any effect.
Right.
Like the grandma that you sit next to on the plane that brings it up to you, the waiter that has never watched a fight in his life that brings it up to you, I don't think they were watching on.
You don't think
Saturday.
they were watching me on DAZN on Saturday?
They're tuned in for that. Mike Perry and Ariel Helwani are the two names that got them in. The grandma from Iowa.
Does it make you guys so in the post fight, like the little post fight wrap up show that we did, the host Sibley Scholes, who did a great job, asked me like, okay, so now how do you expect the Tyson fight to go? And the answer that I gave is similar to what I've always said on this show. I don't know what to think of the Tyson fight. I don't even know what to say. And I just ignored the question and started talking about something else. Do you guys feel the same? I don't know. Like, oh yeah, he looked good. His jab looked good. So, I think he's like, what? I don't even know what to expect from Mike Tyson. Every time, when someone asks me about, well, like that cab driver that I had yesterday, like life after death, anytime I was a kid and I would think about life after death or death itself or heaven, hell, I would start to get a headache because I can't quite comprehend what it all means. I can't comprehend how to wrap my mind around the idea that we don't live anymore. Like, what are you talking about? We don't live. We as human beings are programmed to say, like, oh, next month I'm going on a trip, and next year I'm going to do this, and in 2 weeks we're doing this, or this weekend we're doing this. That just ends. It would always just give me a headache. That's how I feel about the Tyson fight when people talk to me about it. I'm like, so wait, you want my thoughts on this? I don't know how to wrap my head around it. I don't. And it's not a great answer, but it's the truth. I have no idea.
But that's what makes it so compelling.
I do lean towards.
You say you had no idea. Now you got an idea, though.
Well, so
what's your idea?
No, I think, yeah. I mean, I think Jake Paul is a much better boxer than people think he is.
Also,
that some people think he is.
Some people.
Yeah, Frank is not in that group.
We got a super fan on the show. Also, the size advantage that he had here, it will be the age advantage when he goes against Mike Tyson. He's going to be 30 plus years younger than the guy. He's going to have a speed advantage. He's going to have a strength advantage, and he probably is going to win. And when he does win, everyone is just going to bag on him like they always do. It's going to be the same old story.
Either way, ultimately, I'm getting what I want out of Jake Paul. It's not. You talked about it earlier. It's not the Ryan Borland and Andre August fights. That is not what I want from Jake Paul. I want spectacle. I want something interesting. With Mike Perry, the fight was what I wanted. I wasn't as interested in like their back and forths and all that stuff until Conor McGregor fired Mike Perry over Twitter. That was when I got really interested.
Yeah.
I didn't care about that stuff as much as I wanted to see the fight itself. I really cared about Mike Perry versus Jake Paul as a fight. Saw it, got what we needed out of it, learned some things about both. Cool. This one, I don't care about the fight. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I don't care about the fight. I care about only the spectacle of it. But I care. I'm interested. It's massive. It matters culturally. So I'm getting what I want out of it from that side of the equation now as well. So Jake Paul's delivering for me.
Did it make you more interested in the fight?
No, not at all. I don't care about the fight at even 1%. I only care about the spectacle of it.
Is Jake Paul a better boxer today than the one who fought Nick Diaz or Nate Diaz? Golly, I made that mistake. I was thinking
a year ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's essentially dedicating his life to training. I don't know how he couldn't be improving, especially at his age.
Right.
It's not like he's falling off a cliff of getting to be 40 years old.
I think that's right.
I think he's improving.
Every single time we see him, he's probably better just because of how much time and money he is putting into making himself better.
When I was doing the post-fight interview, his dad was in back with the W cans, and he was spraying them, and it kept going in my mouth.
How did it smell?
Well, it was like going in my mouth. Like I was like inhaling it.
Ugh.
That's a W,
disgusting,
bro.
Man. Why do they have to spray the cans? Like
I don't know.
They're doing like the spray like we don't know what an aerosol can is. Like we've never seen it before. They're like, oh, look at this new
good or does it smell bad? I need to know.
It went in my mouth.
I tried to go to Walmart. It was sold out.
Yeah, I was like, yo, bro, I'm trying to talk here.
So you're saying it wasn't a W to eat W. Like that was an L.
I was trying to focus. There was a lot going on in there, but I love those moments when there's like 4 different things and you're turning. Oh, there's Perry in there, and somehow Amanda Serrano emerges, and there's Logan. It's a grand old time. Yeah, so that's what happened. I don't know. Some people are upset. Some people get very upset. Most of those people are just trying to, suck up to Daddy Dana when they get upset about it.
Wait, upset about what?
Jake Paul, just Jake Paul in general is what you're saying?
Yeah, what is he?
They get upset. He's this, he's that. He's a bully.
I just don't really. It just doesn't bother me. I just don't really care. And I agree with Rick in that I essentially need a spectacle. I need a show to tune into a Jake Paul fight. The 2 that I haven't tuned into were the Borland and the Andre August, and I just caught the highlights of those because they ended in the first round, and I just didn't need to see it. I don't need to see any of these fights. Like the Mike Tyson fight, I do not need to see. I don't really want to see, but it's a spectacle, and everyone's going to be talking about it, so I'm going to end up tuning in for it like most of these other fights that go on.
I'm ready for Jake Paul versus Jaya Pataya. That's what I want.
I'd be curious to see how he did against him. I'd be curious to see how he did against him.
I will not be there no matter what.
They asked me to.
You wouldn't watch Jake Paul Jaya Pataya?
I would.
Come on, man. Like, what do I care about this for?
Nah, it's great. They asked me to rank the opponents.
That feels like a real. I mean, it is.
I don't care about Jake Paul's real career. I only care about the.
He's going to be cruiserweight champion in 2 years.
No, he's not.
That's what he said.
Are we getting the Cesar Chavez Jr. fight or what?
I hope not. I hope not. Okay, so quick thoughts. We start with that fight. Uriah Hall wasn't wearing a boxing cup or boxing
Yeah.
shorts. What was
Yeah.
that all about?
I have no idea.
He was wearing like shorts that he got from Walmart,
Yeah,
and they
well,
stuck a
Part of the
cell.
spectacle, man.
Yo, you're eye hole,
that was
man.
the draw. That was.
By the
draw
way,
for that one.
you could make a case that Hall fought better from a boxing standpoint than Perry did. Like Uriah Hall, I think if he cared just a little bit, could have something. I don't know what that is, but he. By the way, he did not get robbed. Chavez won that fight, but he was in there for moments.
He did not get robbed, and I would in fact argue like that was a winnable fight for him.
Yes.
It was there on the table for him. Like he could have won that fight. I think he'll look back on that and feel like there was an opportunity there. But yeah, no, he didn't look like out of his depths. It looked like he just needed to press the gas a little bit more, and he could have actually won that fight.
Now, like Perry, he took this fight on like 3 weeks' notice. That's actually one thing that should be noted for Perry. Again, this fight was like announced a month ago. Jake was already preparing for a fight on this date. So, and Hall was replacing Darren Till, who has the visa problems. So,
I know it's easy to say in hindsight, but like we're on the other side of it. Take a moment and think about the fact that as a non-boxer who doesn't train boxing primarily, is working on BKFC, MMA, all the other things he does, short notice to replace Mike Tyson, drastically outsized. Like Mike Perry was an underdog here. Like anybody who's looking at that performance and trying to use it as an opportunity to rag on Mike Perry, like, come on. Like the deck was stacked against him in every single possible way. Like if anything, we should appreciate the performance that he was able to put on and giving the effort that he did under the absolute like most impossible circumstances. He was a big underdog. I got a lot of love for Mike Perry here on this Monday.
He handled it very well, especially the aftermath. He handled the whole week well.
Yeah.
He was great. It was wild to see Chavez in a fight like that, like a 6-round fight against Uriah Hall. Man.
Yeah.
How the mighty have fallen. And he had not fought in 2.5 years. So that was what it was. The next fight was the Corey Marksman, Tony Aguilar fight, which I predicted would be the fight of the night. And I think ended up being the fight of the night. That was just a great, technical boxing match. These two guys had fought 3 times before, a Florida turf war fight. And Marksman won it fair and square. One judge had it a draw, which was weird. And then we got to the Lucas Body H2O Silv fight, which I texted did I text you? I think I may have texted you guys too. I definitely texted.
You did.
I said upset, right?
You called it. Before they walked out, before anything, it wasn't like in the flow of the fight, you're reading it. You said right before that this is going to be an upset.
Now,
delivered.
Lucas lost every minute.
Yes.
And very quickly I was like, oh shit, I guess I was wrong about this. H2O looked fantastic.
The thing I'll say though, even though he was losing, he was competitive, right? It wasn't like H2O was like blowing the doors off him. He just looked a step ahead. H2O looked a step ahead the whole fight, but Body was in there. It wasn't like he was just getting like wrecked. He was on, the wrong end for that time.
What a time for Niagara. Niagara home to Jasmine.
Jazz Divizius.
Mike Millard and others. He trains with similar coaches. Lucas, that is. There was a nice little Canadian contingency there, and then we get to that. I think it was 6th round as well, right? Was it 6th round? One of the most vicious knockouts that you'll have ever seen. Here it is. Look at this knockout here. Look at the right, and then look at the left on the way down. Oh my dear, he was done. A shocking result for several reasons. Number one, because of how solid H2O looked. Number two, he's just 20. Look at this is the best angle. Boom.
Right. Here's the other right.
Yeah,
Boom.
and then the left. Oh my dear. He was done. He was done after the second right.
I think he was done after the first. I don't think he would have. I'll say this. I don't think he would have beat the count if he went down on this.
Done and then done. And he was convulsing, man. He was down for a long time, and his dad was there, and it was scary. And they took him to the hospital for precautionary, reasons. Obviously, they say he's okay. I hope he takes some time off. 20 to get knocked out like that. Like that was clean. And what was up with the referee? You noticed the referee? The dude was trying to celebrate, and he was like pulling him down. Like clearly the fight was done. He was not getting up. Let him have his moment, for goodness sakes. And so maybe we'll see him on the Netflix card, because it was supposed to be H2O versus Floyd Schofield, Kid Austin. And so maybe Body will get that. And then we got to the Amanda Serrano fight, and she was very confident going into this, her 50th pro fight. I was in the locker room before. I met her brother, Daniel, who's a gigantic Knicks fan, and that was very nice as well. And then she went out there, and like you could tell in the first minute, less, 30 seconds, that she was just going to absolutely smoke Stevie Morgan. In fact, I knew as of Friday that the fight was over when I asked Stevie a question at the weigh-ins, golly, and she just froze up there.
Yeah.
This is someone with 14 wins, 15 fights, 13 stoppages, and she's never really fought on a stage anywhere near this. She's from Tampa, and Serrano. Like it was. I think it was good for her to get a stoppage, first time in about 3 years, 9 fights, and to get back in there before the Katie fight. Probably good for her confidence, her timing, go through a whole training camp. But that was as one-sided as it gets. It was. I think Frank would have done better in there.
Thanks.
You must have been on cloud 9.
Yeah, still am actually.
You didn't watch, did you?
I didn't.
Wow. That's crazy.
Number one Serrano and Jake Paul fan doesn't even
you're
watch
like
their
supposed
fights.
to be team MVP.
Yeah, what the hell? They actually asked me where you were.
I know.
Did you tune out after H2O Silv got knocked out because you didn't want to, like, you were like, oh, this could be doom and gloom for MVP, and then you stopped? Is that what happened?
That's exactly what happened.
Okay.
It's also crazy because it's like, like I'm working, like let me go support my,
I
you can't even show like a bit of support.
Yeah.
I wasn't home. I wanted to keep up
What'd you
with
have to
what
do? You
was
had to
going
go.
on.
What'd you
So
have?
then
you had to go
I
to
was
bed
on
early?
CBS looking at the scorecards, and I saw,
Wait, CBS?
yeah, I know, that was like the only thing I could get on my phone at the time.
What?
Yeah.
Like they're like sports app, not streaming CBS.
You were
on there.
you were
I was just
refreshing
reading-
the CBS app to get
exactly.
the scorecards.
Yeah.
It's Who does that? I feel
Well,
like that's
I
like a
did that.
65-year-old thing to do.
And then I
Go on Twitter. Get the
couldn't
real time.
even respond or ask questions because I was like, then they'll know I'm not watching. I'm like,
No, it's crazy.
I'm ashamed.
You had a big board game yesterday, yeah, Frankie? I saw something.
Yeah, but that was yesterday. This was Saturday.
I was just wondering if you had to get up and go to it. I mean, it looked
Oh,
like a
come on.
real.
Well,
I mean, it looks like a
your
real
girl looked
serious thing.
fantastic, and it sets up the November 15th fight very, very well. Stevie just got absolutely starched, but it was great to see some aggression out of her. Like she actually, the Heather Hardy fight was a little disappointing to hardcore fans like Frank because it felt like she carried her for all those rounds. It was nice to see her just go out there and make quick work of poor Stevie Morgan. And then the main event. Mike Perry. Back to bare knuckle, we presume.
I'm still not sure.
You don't really
He
think
could
he's
have been
fired.
fired.
No, come on.
I don't think necessarily that like sitting here Monday at 1:53 p.m. Eastern that he's fired, but I don't think it's impossible. If Conor McGregor today goes to David Feldman, I don't know how the pie is split. Right? There's ownership in BKFC. Mike Perry has said that
Mike Perry has
some of it.
equity. Mike Perry has equity. That is a fact.
So I don't know how the equity shares go, but I know this.
He's not getting fired. What are you talking
If
about?
Conor
I'm like,
McGregor,
come on, this guy
I'm not
is
saying
fired,
that he's getting
dude.
fired. What I'm saying to you is if Conor McGregor went to the principal owners and said, it's him or me, I'll tell you who's not going to have a job. I know what decision gets made on that scenario. So it really depends on how hard Conor McGregor wants to push it.
Do you not think they could reason with him and be like, Connor, this is our biggest draw by far. This guy does the best business that we have ever done. We need to keep him on the roster. You don't think they could talk him into that?
It's a fair point. Conor McGregor, known to be a very reasonable man. You can appeal to his logic and being a sound decision maker. I don't know.
Do you have any interest in Jake Paul versus Mike Perry in MMA?
I'd
Yes.
rather see Jake Paul, Nate Diaz.
Either one of those I'd take.
Do you have any interest in Jake Paul versus Mike Perry in bare knuckle?
Yes,
I mean,
that
yeah,
would
of
be number
course.
one on my
Yeah.
list.
To go to his territory,
That'd be
Jake
sick.
Paul doing bare knuckle as well.
Better
Yeah,
chance,
absolutely.
Jake Paul, Mike Perry in bare knuckle or MMA?
MMA.
MMA at the PFL for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, even when they were mentioning in that post-fight
Yeah.
interview, he's just like bare knuckle, and Jake's like, no, PFL. We gotta go.
Yeah.
We gotta go to the PFL.
I think it was
I wouldn't-
actually Nikisa behind me saying that.
Can I?
Yeah, I think everybody was just like, no, PFL. Like,
Mike Perry
we're not
versus-
going to bare knuckle.
Mike Perry and Jake Paul MMA makes a lot of sense. Or Nate Diaz, GC suggested a great one, because primarily they're going to stand and box with him. So like, he's not out of it. It's not an absolute steamrolling. So,
I don't want to see him in MMA. What's the point?
What?
Right. Or
What's the
bare
point?
knuckle. I think just
I
staying
don't
in
think what's the
boxing.
point? What's the point of
I
fighting
don't
Mike
think
Tyson?
he wants to go.
He's on a boxing path. Why are we going to go to MMA?
Yeah, I think he's going to stay on the boxing path.
Just spin this out for me.
Yes.
Play this out for me.
Think of-
You're interested in like Jake Paul versus random ranked boxers?
No,
Yes.
no,
That's
keep
what you
lining
see
them
out
up.
of this?
Yes, absolutely.
Or keep lining up all the MMA
Because
fighters to come box.
he says he wants to be a cruiserweight champion.
There are-
So take the steps to become a cruiserweight champion. And don't give. I think the WBA tweeted something today that they would be interested in making him versus.
Yeah,
By the way,
Chavez.
people ask me, what are the chances he becomes a champion? I'm like, have you seen boxing titles? Have you
Yeah,
seen who they
he
create
could.
them for? He could get one tomorrow if he wants.
But
Like, that's
there
it's
are
not a
better
meritocracy.
boxers. There are better boxers than him that you can follow. Like there's just better boxers.
I'm aware of that.
That can be-
I'm able to distinguish between lower level and high level.
But I'm saying like you're interested in his trajectory, but like there's other there's better trajectories. He's not going to be.
Why do I have to pick one or the other?
Well, because he can be doing more interesting things.
I like watching. Sometimes
There's
I
an
like watching
alternative.
D3 basketball, and sometimes I like watching the NBA.
No, but yes, you're making a fair point. But my argument is those D3 basketball players don't have an option to be doing something different, right? They're going to be playing D3 ball because that's what they're doing. Jake Paul, I don't have to watch him box boxers. He could be doing these interesting things. He can be fighting Mike Perry.
I'm
He
more
could be
interested
fighting
in
Logan
Jake Paul
He can
versus
be-
the 15th ranked WBC
Oh,
guy.
get
I am.
outta here.
I am. Let's just see it.
What?
At this point, let's see it. Enough already.
What?
If you're going to keep telling me about it, I don't want to see another one like the Mike Perry fight. Why do I have to see that?
I'm right there with you.
Let's just see it. If he wants to be the best cruiserweight in the world, and by all accounts, the best cruiserweight in the world right now is Jaya Pataya, do what it takes to get to Jai. Do what it takes. Why? Why not?
I will not be there.
I don't need to see him fight another welterweight. I don't need to see him fight another
He could fight
middleweight.
a same size guy. He could fight his brother. He could fight. There's fights.
What do you mean there's fights?
I would watch KSI. I would watch Logan Paul. I would watch Conor McGregor. I'd definitely watch Alex Pereira, even though that
I'm
would
not saying
never
I'm not
happen.
watching those fights, but you're saying you have no interest in what I'm talking about. And I'm
None.
saying
Zero.
I have interest. By the way, the Paul fight would be huge.
The Logan, yeah.
Yeah.
The Paul
That's
fight.
so. That's so
Hashtag
much
Paul
more
Paul.
interesting. That like, yeah. I just can't get there. I can't look.
You
I'm-
seem to agree with me, GC, though, right?
To an extent. I also go back to what I said earlier that like I don't really need any of these fights. Like I don't have a massive
But what is it?
appetite.
But okay,
for
but when you say need, like what does that mean? Like I don't need to see Andy Ruiz fight Jarrell Miller, but I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
Like
but
I don't need
you'll
to.
casually tune
I
in.
I
Like,
want.
I'm not tracking on who Jake Paul might fight next. I'm not breaking down like where.
But we
who
don't do
he's
that
gonna
for
start
anyone.
bringing
We
in.
don't do that for anyone.
Yeah,
What are you
like,
talking
I
about?
just like I don't know.
We don't
his
have to make
career
this
is
out
like,
to be.
a fight gets made. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll watch it. Everyone's going to be talking about it. I'm going to tune in. Who he fights really doesn't matter to me. I lean more to the spectacle, but also if he's getting serious about getting a belt, I would want to see if he could achieve that as well.
He can't, and I won't.
Whoa, don't say he can't. By
Well,
the
that's
way,
what I want to find out.
The
That's what I wanna find
IBF
out,
will
right?
gladly give him a belt tomorrow.
Yeah, you're right. Okay,
If he fights
he
Julio
can get a
Cesar
belt. He
Chavez
can't
Jr.
beat
for a
anybody worth a damn for a belt.
You wouldn't tune in just to see if he could beat.
I would love to see it just so everyone just loses their minds. I can't believe it. He's ruined the sanctity
Let
of
me just
fighting.
write down
He's
today's
ruined
date
it.
to clip what Rick just said so we can replay
Jake
it
Paul
in
will.
the future.
How about this? Yeah, Jake Paul won't
Frank,
be.
are you
won't
watching
be
it,
a champion of any like repute. Like he will not. It won't matter.
I just don't want him. I want him to stop ruining the sanctity of boxing. That's all.
The sanctity of the most crooked sport that there is. Yeah.
Listen,
Jake Paul as real boxing disruptor is like the least interesting thing I could possibly imagine. Zero interest. Out.
oh, I'm
hard,
all in.
Hard pass.
I'm all in.
Circus fights only.
KSI
Interesting.
first. KSI first, and then
We still got to fight Tyson. I mean, we were going to do Tyson, and then we'll do KSI, then we'll knock out the Logan fight, and then we start the trajectory to the cruiserweight.
he's got like
title.
a 4-fight plan before. It's what a time.
The last question, I know that we should, but
Yeah.
do you really think that Netflix is wrong about this? Like they
Wrong in
want
what
this to
way?
happen.
Who said
they,
they're wrong?
No, I'm just
No, we've already established there's a great audience that wants to
Right.
see this. Like, it's
So-
very clear.
and I think
The
that
fight
that's
is also
all we
happening.
need over and
Like,
over again.
There's Netflix wants it. Mike Tyson appears to want it. Jake Paul wants
Just
it.
do
like,
me a
it's happening.
favor, Rick. Do me a favor. When he fights for the cruiserweight title, don't come around with your 12 out of 10s, all right?
I won't be watching. I
Who
promise.
the fuck is we?
Yeah, I'm not there. You guys enjoy it. You guys enjoy that. I won't be there. I won't.
If he
be
got
there.
to the point where he was fighting for a cruiserweight title, like a legitimate belts are on the
No,
line,
we're talking.
you're
See,
not
now you're
tuning
talking
in?
about like potentially one belt. Like I'm talking like. First of all, he's not going to get there. Like, but even if he does, if they like, as you said, what was it? WBA
Yeah.
president said, "Hey, we'll do like that's not a real thing. That I don't care that there's a belt there. It's not a real fight. Like Julio Cesar Chavez is not a top
Junior.
a top fighter. So like, I don't care. Don't care. Zero.
3 years' time, we're going to be talking about Alexander Usyk coming
Undisputed,
back down to
undisputed
on
champion
Jake Paul to try to become
okay.
undisputed.
Okay.
Usyk Paul.
Yeah.
For
Nailed
sure.
it.
Come on now.
For sure.
Come on now, man.
Let's get to our first guest of the day. He competes this Saturday, well, technically Sunday, in Manchester at the brand spanking new Co-op Live Arena. He is the one and only. He's one of our own. He's one of our own. Arnold Allen. He's one of our own. Hello, Arnold. How are you?
Yeah, good man. Yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. So great to talk to you. I have so many questions. By the way, do you have any thoughts on what we were just talking about? You must be into the Jake Paul journey to become cruiserweight champion. No?
Oh, no, I don't watch him.
You didn't stay up. You didn't stay up.
No, man. I stayed up to 4:30, and then I'm just like, I'm going to bed. I ain't watching that.
You shut it off after the Serrano fight.
No, I wasn't watching the fights.
Oh, you weren't watching anything.
No.
I thought maybe because of the weird time that you'll be fighting on Saturday, it would have worked with your sleep schedule.
No, it's too late. I'm fighting about 3 a.m., so I'm going to bed at like 4:30.
You're going to bed at 4:30. So okay, so like right now it's 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So what time do you go to bed?
4:30 a.m.
You go to bed at what time do you wake up?
About 1 p.m.
Oh, so you're like just starting your day now.
Yeah, I did a bit of training, and now I'm just kind of, wait, what does it say? My morning brew.
Wow. How long have you been doing this? I mean, obviously you found out about the fight a couple months ago. So was it right off the bat, or did you kind of ease into this?
Nah. Yeah, I eased into it. I'm usually like 10 p.m. I wake up at 6 p.m. Go to bed at 10, wake up at 6. The first thing I did is I went to midnight and woke up at 8, and I was in hell.
Oh,
Like, yeah, but now I'm like, it's perfect. So then I gradually did 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So yeah, it's fine.
and now your body is completely acclimated to this.
Yeah, I've been training at like 3 in the morning, and weirdly, I feel wide awake at 3 a.m. And then when I train at like say 7 p.m., like a morning session, I guess, I'm a bit like, a bit sleepy.
Really?
It's a bit strange. Yeah, it's strange.
Tom
yeah.
Aspinall told me last week that he wakes up at around 3, 4 and dips his hands into barrels of petrol. Have you heard of this?
Yeah. That's that old bare knuckle thing.
Yeah. Are you doing the same?
No, I think he's pulling your pants down. To be honest, mate.
You think he's taking the piss?
I think he's having a laugh. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I actually
Yeah.
believed him.
Yeah. I mean, if he is, it'd be kind of pointless when we wear gloves. So we're kind of supposed to calcify the skin in it. So, yeah.
The visual of the heavyweight champion waking up and doing this is quite romantic to me.
He's setting his hands on fire and
Yes.
stuff. Yeah. No, I'm doubtful.
When you first found out about the time of the fight, what was your reaction?
It's shit. I thought it was shit. I got the contract, and obviously I was like, yeah, awesome. I want to fight in the UK. And I didn't know. It was like some fan leaked a thing, and then asked me a message like, oh, what are your thoughts of fighting at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or whatever? And I was like, yeah, I never want to do that. And he's like, well, you are. But I was just like, oh, yeah. So here's what it is.
Oh man, did you consider not taking the fight after hearing that?
Nah, never.
Were you at that Bisping fight 204 in the middle of the night?
No, actually, I was supposed to fight on that card I was supposed to fight. He's not my teammate, but Masad Bektik. I got sick like a week out, and I'll be honest, I didn't think about it one bit.
Wow.
And like being more of a professional now, I'm like, right, I have to do it right, make sure I acclimatize the time. But yeah, it didn't cross my mind. I was just like, oh, cool, we'll fight at whatever it is, 2 a.m.
To be young,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, one idiot.
Does your father wake up in the middle of the night with you?
He has done a few. Actually, so my boxing coach has been doing some like 3 a.m. sessions for me on the pads and that. And he's about the same age as my dad. And they worked doors like security around the same area, around the same time. So you can imagine 2 ex-doormen at 3 in the morning in the boxing gym telling old war stories. And yeah, I was just like, come on, guys, give me a break.
This is where this is when they thrive. They thrive at 3 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But no, it's great. It's funny. All sorts of battle stories.
Do you think that this is a disadvantage for the UK fighters? Because if you're a guy coming from America, you can just stay on American time zone and never have to worry about this the entire camp.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think I'm not a scientist or anything, but my research and everyone I spoke to, the thing is, when you come over late, you now can stay on the same sleep schedule, the same time schedule. But not only are you still going to be jet lagged, your sunlight schedule is now different.
Oh.
Your schedule, your circadian rhythm is messed up.
Wow.
So yeah, so you're on the same sleep schedule, but the sunlight, the day, the rhythm of the day is going to mess with you. So I think it's actually better this way.
Okay. I understand that Leon, who I know you train with as well, hired some sort of sleep doctor who works with F1 drivers because their schedules are all crazy. Did he tell you about this?
Yeah, I asked him for a few tips, but it's pretty straightforward. Just like, push it an hour every other day, sort of gradually. But yeah, there ain't nothing that complicated about it, really.
Have you been training with Team Renegade a lot for this particular fight?
I did the majority of the camp there. And then once we started staggering the training and doing the weird sleep time, it wasn't working. Obviously, Leon's fighting about 5:30 a.m., so he's taking some of the team. They're training later, and then I'm fighting at 3 a.m., so I couldn't take a group. Yeah, so I've been training local, actually, at my original gym, so it's been cool.
When's the last time you did that for a camp?
What?
Like training at your original gym?
Actually, I did half and half when I fought Holloway, so
okay,
that would have been the last one. Yeah.
I saw a photo of Leon. Golly, the guy's ripped. He's shredded.
Yeah, he's in good shape. Isn't he?
Do you notice any difference of him, from him now as he's settling into being a champion? Has he changed at all?
Not that I've seen. The guy's still the same, humble guy in the gym, helping everyone out, coming around, making sure everyone's getting good partners, good rounds. And he's the man. He's the best.
I was worried that you wouldn't fight on this card, if only because, and correct me if I'm wrong, Co-op, the Co-op Live Arena, I believe they offer a 350-pound meal deal. And I know that they're a competitor for Tesco, and it's quite an affordable meal deal. So I was wondering if your allegiances.
Yeah.
I tried to set that. I botched that.
It was a shambles. I don't know if you heard about the start of the arena, but events kept closing.
Yes.
Air conditioning units were falling down, and so I mean, fuck them. Yeah.
Have you ever had one of their meal deals?
Yeah, I have.
How are they?
And they're all right. Not the best. They're all right. If you want soggy sandwiches, they're pretty good. No.
Not Tesco level.
No. But all the prices are going up. They're screwing us everywhere. So
$3.50 is not bad.
Tesco's to come. Yeah, $3.50 is now a good price. Everyone caved. Everyone caved to the inflation. It's what it is.
So is the name of the store, the chain, is it Co-op? Is that the name of it?
Yeah, the cooperative. Yeah.
Ah, okay, all right. And they have enough money to actually name an arena.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. They got Co-op funeral homes. They got Co-op. They got Co-op everything.
Oh wow, okay. So have you been able to see the arena?
No, I haven't. I've seen some photos, but it looks pretty cool. But
I hope the air conditioned units are okay now. Like I hope they don't.
Can you imagine that? Me and Giga fighting, and just like in the middle of us, like a big AC unit just falls in between us. Like, come on.
And by the way, I should have said this at the top. Commiserations after what happened last weekend to the three Lions.
Yeah.
Are you over it, or are you still bummed?
No, like, you know what? They shouldn't have been in the final anyway.
Right.
Right. Like, to get there playing the way we were playing, scraping by, I don't think anyone was expecting to win it. I did make a joke how funny it would be to win it, like scraping by every game, coming back, but yeah, no, it is what it is. Yeah, such great players, but for whatever reason, just can't put it together as a unit. So,
right.
Yeah.
Are you happy Southgate is gone?
Kind of like indifferent, because he's done so good, got us to, what is it, semi-final and 2 finals. So yeah, like, what are you gonna say? That's fantastic, but it wasn't looking great in that last tournament. So yeah.
When
I'd like to see a bit more.
When Cole Palmer tied it, were you freaking out?
Yeah, I was. I was like, oh shit, like, this is it.
It's coming home.
We're gonna win it. Yeah, there was about 10 minutes. It was like, what do you call it in hockey when you have the power play?
Yeah.
It was like 10 minutes of like the power play, and then everyone was just like, oh. So no, come back to life, Yeah, not meant to be.
Look at you, proper Canadian now, making hockey references.
I know my hockey.
Yeah, that's impressive. Yeah, I'm sorry. When Palmer scored, true or false, did you start singing "It's Coming Home"?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I did do a little scream though.
I did enjoy your tweets afterwards. After every game, they were very fun. Your tweets are always a classic. Congratulations! I understood that you released an arm on Friday.
Yeah, it was monstrous.
What propels you in that moment to share that with the world?
I don't know. I love a random, no context, just bang it out there, let everyone know what's happening. Yeah.
Do you get a good response to that? Yeah,
I think so. And sometimes just say something completely random, and everyone's like, "Oh wow, man, bro's going through something." I'm like, "Huh?" I just made a joke. Yeah. I like it. It's fun.
I usually read them in your voice, and they give me a good laugh. Sometimes when I'm down, I just go to your page just to see the random stuff that you've tweeted, and it always lifts my spirits.
I have a big hiatus on tweets, so I just stop for a long while, and then I'll be like, "Well, I haven't made a good tweet in a while."
And the merch store is looking great as well.
Yeah, it's doing good. The boss is killing it. She's smashing it, and I'm just sort of standing there taking pictures, looking like an idiot. But yeah, it's good.
The boss is your better half, yes?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, she is.
I know. I'm seeing
Canadian half.
We're seeing the photos here. Some of them from your page. I mean, the stuff is really high quality. I understand that you were debating whether to introduce a children's sizes or maybe some pet sizes. Where did you fall on that?
That was something. That's something we get asked a lot, but like, I don't know. I don't know if we have enough market for that yet. I don't know how many dogs and cats follow me. A few kids. I think the kids might not necessarily be a fan, but their parents are, so they're like forced into it. So we'll see. We'll have to start something soon.
Is it a viable business at this point?
Yeah, it's doing good. Like, obviously, you know how the sport works. Like, once you fight and you're out of the limelight, everything goes quiet. So during that, like now, this period, orders are coming in like crazy, which is great. But I wouldn't be able to retire and pursue it. I wouldn't be able to retire and survive off it. Sorry. Yeah.
Do you do all the shipping and all that yourself, or do you have it's just
it's all.
Wow.
Everything is done at home. My missus just runs everything at home. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, she kills it.
And the video blogs are looking good too. You're really sticking with them.
Thank you. The unbedded. Yeah.
Yes.
So I had the idea because I was like, I get into camp and I just get fed up of, I don't want to do videos. So I was just like, if we can get a couple of clips from training, a couple of clips from me talking crap, then it's minimal effort, put something out every week, and people get insight on what we're doing training wise, and keep something going.
Do you have your own beer line?
No, so it's not my own beer line. It's just a friend of mine works for a brewery, and he's like the marketing guy, and he just contacted me like, "Do you want to do an almighty beer?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So, yeah, I don't really drink massively, but yeah.
Is it vanilla pear sour?
Yeah.
The beer is
it's pretty sour.
But it's
sour.
like it's flavored beer?
Yeah, it's like a fruity beer, but it's an acquired taste. I would recommend it ice cold.
Ice cold, okay.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Where can someone get it?
Oh, Beers of America. The Beers of America on their page, they're selling it. The link's in my Instagram and all that stuff.
So you'd have to order it to get it.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I think if you're a fancy beer guy, if you like your craft beers, it should be up your street.
What an honor! What an honor to have something, even if it's like a small line of it or whatever you call it, after you. That has to be a pretty cool thing, right?
Yeah, man, it's awesome. It's awesome, and that's the thing with the almighty merch, the almighty brand, and whatever. I don't necessarily want to make it just like a UFC fighter merchandise thing. I know it is called almighty merch, but the goal is to take it further and eventually do almighty hydration. Maybe we can combat with the Prime Boys and actually give you some good hydration. But as of yet, I have no plans.
Okay,
so it's just a pipeline dream. Yeah. But something like that could be cool, I don't know.
By the way, who gave you the almighty name?
It's an old sponsor. Actually, he had a company called Almighty Fightwear. And it was after one of my Cage Warriors fights. We were just drinking in the bar. This guy comes up, this northern bloke, Steve, his name, just swaying, like spilling beer everywhere. He killed me. He's such a funny guy. And he was like, "Oh, I'll pay you to wear my shorts." I was like, "All right." It's like, "We could call you Almighty Arnold Allen." I was like, "All right." He's like spilling his beer. I was like, "Okay." And I spoke to him, and he's a really funny guy. But I have a photo of him on the subway. It's me on the underground. It's me, him, and Frank Trigg.
Wow.
And Frank Trigg commentated one of the UFC, one of the Cage Warriors events. And this guy, Steve, was absolutely battered. Like, Frank Trigg. I'm just dying. Oh, this guy's so funny. Yeah.
Did you see the thumbs up pop up on the screen? Did you see that?
What's that? No. What's going on?
Oh, you didn't see that? On Zoom, sometimes when you do a thumbs up, like a little bubble with a thumbs up emoji pops up on the screen.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. You didn't notice?
Fancy. No.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was just for the audience. Well, the stuff is great. And, I suppose I should ask you about the actual fight. You like this matchup?
Yeah, love it. Definitely. I love a striking matchup.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. It's you just get to go out there and do what I love, which is stand up and have a fight. So yeah, it's good.
Considering your previous opponent Movsar and all that, like this, a little bit more. You know exactly what he's going to do, right? And it.
Yeah.
It's something that you like to do as well.
Yeah, I'd be a bit shocked if he comes out and shoots a double leg. I would be pretty surprised, to be fair.
I do wonder if you'll try to take it to the ground at some points.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't do much of
that. Yeah. Considering how the last two went, do you feel any bit of pressure more so than usual?
Yeah. There's definitely more pressure. The last one I'm just kind of pissed off about, but there's a salt cracker going on in the background. I'm definitely pissed off about the last one, but in a good way. Like the pressure is in a good way. Like I want to go out there and prove this isn't my level. I'm better than that. And even though it was a whatever loss sort of thing, it was one of those. A loss is a loss, obviously, but yeah.
What pisses you off about it?
I just felt like I did enough. The knees. I keep getting tagged in that thing now. They're changing the rule soon to having to have a knee down, which is quite funny. But yeah, it is what it is.
I'm assuming you agree with that rule change.
Yeah, I think it's all right. I think it's okay. Yeah, just a knee down. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
He's become very outspoken, especially online. Him and Aljamain Sterling and all that. If he did fight Aljo, it seems like we're going in that direction because of the tweets that they posted over the weekend. Who do you like in that?
I don't know. Probably. I think Mosler has better wrestling, but I think Aljo has better jiu-jitsu. So it could just be in for a
striking match.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'd probably end up a striking match, and I think Aljo's so weird because he has such awkward striking. It's so hard to like read what he's doing. He has random patterns. He moves strange. Feel like I favor Mosvar on the feet in that one. I don't know. It's a weird matchup. It could be either the most boring fight ever or a really entertaining fight. I don't know.
Do you think he has what it takes to be a champion?
Who's that?
Movsar.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a good skill set, definitely, but I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Not sure.
And what about Giga?
What about him?
Meaning, like his ceiling. How good do you think he is? Considering who you just fought Movsar, you fought Max. Do you put him in that category? I know you're a little higher ranked than him, but do you consider him a true top featherweight, or there's?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely is. He's up there with the best guys. Dangerous, very dangerous. He's, like Pereira in a way. He's such a dangerous kickboxer and all that. You have to respect it. He always has that sort of finishing power and all those things. The way the division stacks up, maybe not championship. A guy like Mosvar is obviously his nightmare matchup. And you have Ilya can wrestle, he can strike. Bryce Mitchell is in there. He's a great wrestler. All these kind of matchups, you want to be champion. I think you have to even face the styles that are bad for you. Like obviously myself, I fought a lot of wrestlers, guys trying to take me down, and that's not necessarily favorable for my style. So I'm a big believer like you have to fight all those styles and fight the best guys to be the best.
I know you're very proud of your country and where you're from. To be a part of this era of the UFC, where you have two British champions at the top, and this card I think is one of the best English cards. There have been some great English cards, but they haven't really featured. Back in the day, UFC 70 and stuff like that. It was Rampage, Dan Henderson. So I just, or it was 75. But the point is, like, this feels like a golden age, and actually. My friend P.T. Carroll is the one who always says that about the current state of UK MMA. Does that? Oh, look at that! Your cat just jumped up. You saw that? That's crazy.
Did you hear? She made like a weird noise when she does it. She does like a weird like.
Oh, that's great. She just went all the way up there.
Today.
Oh, happy birthday, Fish! Right?
Yeah.
It's her birthday. How'd you celebrate?
She had like a weird beef thing, chicken paste. I don't know what it was. Yeah.
How old?
My missus got her a toy. 2.
2. Wow. And is that 2 in cat years or human years?
Human.
Okay, they don't do that. They don't do that for the cats.
She doesn't play that.
Okay.
No.
Do you have a new hairstyle?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mullet going on a little
bit. I like
bit,
it,
but it's kind of grown out. I don't know.
Are you gonna shave it more for the fight? Like, are you gonna clean up the sides here?
Nah. You know what? Actually. I know we got off the topic of the golden era.
Yeah,
it is great to be a part of it.
Okay,
but when I'm turned 30, I've had to start getting my eyebrows trimmed.
Oh yeah,
they're getting long, and then when I fight, they vass them, and then you can see like these. I can see like a bit of that in my face, and I'm like trying to get it out of my face. Yeah. So
when did you turn 30?
End of January. Yeah. Just after the last fight.
I thought I missed it.
No.
Anyway, I saw a great photo of you and your cat wearing the Ipswich kits.
Oh yeah, yeah. She was loving it.
How excited are you for that? Premier League.
Yeah, really. And so the coolest thing is, so now with the Premier League, they're going to be doing some like weird times games. They'll be doing like Sunday games.
Oh yeah.
So I'll actually be able to go and watch like the home games when I'm home. So that's nice. Usually I do like Saturday games and it's like night games, and I'm usually in the gym at those times. So now Sunday game, rest day, I could be at the game. So
I'm happy about that. Do you guys have tickets?
I can get tickets here. I don't have them, but I can get them.
You don't have like season tickets? They don't have that there?
No, they do, but I don't have them. Just because usually every game is on, I'm training. So
Right.
someone
Oh,
keeps
okay.
buzzing. Yeah.
Someone keeps calling you.
Yeah, I don't know how to use Apple stuff, and there's a convo going on, and I don't know how to stop text coming through.
Oh, I see. I see. Well, we can't notice if it means anything.
Oh, that's good though.
I was just wondering if you're a bandwagon, you know, like, oh, now that they're Premier League, you're a fan.
No. No. No.
Well, how low were they? Like, what's your earliest recollection of how low they were as far as divisions? Like third division?
So when I was supporting, the whole time I was supporting, they were like middle table championship team.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh man. I used to go every time when I was all the home games I'd go. They used to do a thing under 18s, it was £1 a ticket. So I was like, I could go to every game. And then I got to 18th birthday and had to start paying like 20, £30 a ticket. I was like, oh, I can't really afford to go every weekend. You know, it's like sports arenas, you have to pay like £10 for a hot dog or something. And I was like, yeah, it's a real expensive thing. But yeah, the lowest is League One. Yeah, League One.
Wow. Now look at you.
Yeah.
Premier League. And jumped up twice, right? Didn't they go from like second to championship to in consecutive years?
Yeah, so they didn't win evenly. They came second back to back, but
that's
promotion
fine.
is promotion. So
yeah,
exactly.
And by the way, I saw you installing a Latham's door. What is that?
Oh, they're just like a security door. It's like a steel door that you can't put an axe through it. It's solid.
And you installed this in your house?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they sponsor me to do so.
Okay. I thought you were worried someone was going to come after you.
No. It's door's unlocked anyway. You can walk in.
In the middle of the night?
Yeah.
You don't lock your doors?
I lock my doors, but where that one is, it isn't.
Okay. Wow. I have like intense OCD. I check every door like 5 times before I go to bed.
Yeah. So my parents, like, they never lock the doors, front or back, when we were kids. Yeah, you could just walk in. Like, yeah. Pretty wild.
You live in a safe area, or you lived in a safe area?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty safe where I am now, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Will your dad corner you on Saturday, or is it past his bedtime?
Nah, the guy's a truck driver. That's his prime time.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He's a truck driver now.
Yeah. He says, what does he say? You will never work a day in your life if you love your job. He loves trucks. That's like his secret passion is trucks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and
so my best friend. Sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
My best friend is a truck driver. And when they're together, he lights up. They start talking about trucks, and he doesn't talk to me about trucks because he knows I know nothing about them. But my friend comes over. He's like, "Oh, my real son, like I miss you and all that." And he'll start talking about, "Oh, this week I got to drive one of these. I drove to this place." I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Like he lights up about trucks. Yeah,
and he does it in the middle of the night.
Yeah, no, he's like random hours, like 2 a.m. trucker.
Wow.
I think that's why he's so greasy, throwing the piss bottles out the window and stuff, stinking up the truck. Yeah.
And what is he transporting, or is it always different things?
Yeah, it's always different things. Yeah, always different things.
Incredible.
He did for the Olympics in London. He had to supply the water to the venue. That's what he was doing.
Wow.
Yeah. So he turned up with this big truck full of water, and he said it had like the SAS guards there to make sure no one was contaminating it, and yeah, pretty crazy.
No one's messing with your dad.
Yeah, probably. He's messing with everyone's heads, I think.
I'm going to the Olympics tomorrow.
Oh, are you? You're out to Paris?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm competing in the 4x100 relay.
Nice. Canada's Olympic team that bad, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yes. So I'll be close to your time zone. I look forward to it very much. Always a pleasure. I wish you the best. Great to chat as always. Happy birthday to Fish, man. And good luck on Saturday. Knock 'em dead.
Thank you, man.
You're the man.
Enjoy
Arnold.
Paris as well.
Thank you. All the best to you. Thanks so much.
Of course, man.
There he is, the great Arnold Allen. What a guy. It's such a lovely time talking to him about everything but fighting, And he's got a big fight coming up on Saturday against Giga Chikadze, who, is I think one of the best featherweights in the UFC, top 10. I think this is 6 versus 10. Last I checked, he's coming off a nice win over Alex Caceres, but almost a year ago, August of 2023, he was supposed to fight Josh Emmett on that December pay-per-view, the Edwards Covington pay-per-view, but he had to withdraw. So he was on quite a roll. If you remember, he had won a bunch in a row and then met Calvin Kattar in January of 2022, lost that fight, and then took an extended time off. Didn't fight for like a year and a half, and then fought Caceres, won that fight, and so this is his next one. So looking to go on a roll against Arnold Allen, who's fighting back at home in the UK, lost his last 2 in a row, frustrating fight against Movsar Evloev. Prior to that was the Max Holloway main event in Kansas City, and prior to that, he was on quite the roll, if you recall, with wins over the likes of Calvin Kattar, Dan Hooker, Sadiq Youssef, Nick Lentz, Gilbert Melendez. A really nice run for Arnold Allen. So let us see how it all plays out on Saturday. And like I said, it's a great card from top to bottom. A lot of up-and-comers, a lot of UK stars, a lot of names that we're familiar with. Probably the best UK pay-per-view. I mean, the Edwards Usman 3 card was solid, but I personally don't think it was as deep as this one. And one of the fights that I'm very much looking forward to is the return of the Welsh gangster himself. Yes, we saw him make his UFC debut back in February, was victorious, had a nice win, and now looking to go 2-0 inside the octagon. What a weekend that was for him in Anaheim. Had the win over Val Woodburn, and now coming back on Saturday on the prelims of UFC 304 to fight Preston Parsons. He's the one and only Oban Elliott, who is kind enough to join us. There he is, our old pal.
What an introduction, Ariel. What's happening?
Yeah, one of our own. He's one of our own. Oban Elliott. He's one of our own. Yeah.
Come on.
Come
I like
on,
the passion
son.
there with the grit in the teeth.
Yeah.
I
How
love
are you
the
feeling?
passion there.
How are we feeling?
I'm great. I'm great. And I was having a little think about this on the way back to mine now before we did this. And I felt like last time I was very fanboyish about the whole thing. So
No.
I feel like I owe a little bit of an apology.
Are you
Because
kidding?
I'm a bit annoyed at myself.
What are you
by it
talking
all.
about? What are you
But
talking
not,
about?
But
Here you
know,
are.
like,
You're here. You're a part of the crew. You're one of us.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, like the whole occasion, you know, I felt like I forgot how much I actually belong there.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So I just wanted to come with you with that. I don't know why. I had a little thought on the way over here.
Now you are a part of the. Forget about this show. You're a UFC vet now. This is your second fight. You're 1-0 in the UFC. Do you feel like you belong more? Were you battling imposter syndrome the first time?
That's what I'm trying to talk about. You know?
I like it.
Yeah, I think so. And I just give myself a little kick up the arse a bit and being like, "What are you talking about? You are the man.
Yes.
You belong here. This is a lifetime's work that's come to fruition, and now I get to go and show it again, but better, way better. And I get to go and do it in on these shores. I'm going to get the plane anywhere. I got a little drive, 3-hour drive. But yeah, that's how I feel. I belong in this whole thing, 100%.
Did that thought kick in right after the fight? Did it take some time in the aftermath of the fight? When did you start to say, "Wait a second, I am the man. I should be here"?
Yeah, it's a few weeks. I was enjoying myself, Ariel. After the last one, it was as you know, it was cool. Do you know what I mean? It was like what a first week at work that was. You know what I mean? But yeah, as it's unfolded, I've realized like, no, I'm not just like, you know, or I'm not gonna be. Of course, I'm excited by it, but I'm not gonna be like some little fan. You know what I mean? I'm a world-class fighter fighting in the UFC, and I deserve to be here. So it's kind of, I guess everybody goes through it quietly, but yeah, I went through it, and now my head's in the perfect place. You know what I mean?
Your reaction when you heard that you were fighting in the UK, in this new arena in Manchester, a big UK pay-per-view. We were talking earlier with Arnold about how this sort of feels like a golden age for UK MMA. There's so many, obviously, champions, but also up-and-comers, rising stars, prospects, whatever you want to say. You're in that bunch. What was your reaction when you got the call that they wanted you on this card?
It was an honor. It was very cool because I won't go into detail now, but after the last fight, I had a couple of bumps and bruises, and I didn't actually get cleared to fight until later on. I was going back and forth. The UFC look after you when it comes to your health 100%. But obviously, it was all good. I had the clearance, and it was like 3 days later they put me on the card, and I was thinking, I'm maybe not gonna be able to get on this card because of I wasn't eligible for being matched. But literally, I think it was the Friday. I said, yeah, I'm all good. Just needed it off the doctor, basically. And by the 5 days? By the Wednesday, I had a fight had a fight come through. I was like, wow, that is an honor. You know what I mean? So I know this, but people, you see it online. People are trying to get fights, but it seems like they want to be on this card. So yeah, I'm honored, 100%.
Your thoughts on it's been a big talking point. This happening in the middle of the night. How do you feel about that?
I'm quite lucky because I'm early on. So it's like I'm like a main event kind of time. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, what time did Jake Paul fight the other day? I think it was like
1
one
local time.
Well, so I'm going to be like between midnight and 1 in the morning. So
easy.
I'm like I'm on like a main event schedule. Don't get me wrong. I go to bed quite early and get up quite early usually. So I've just like tweaked that. But, I've never been one to bitch and moan about having to fight that time of night anyway. Do you know what I mean? I did it enough growing up out on nights out and that. After 15 pints or whatever. And I did fine then. So I'm a trained professional athlete now. I'll be just fine. I'll be excited.
Did you watch UFC 204 when Bisping fought in the middle of the night against Dan Henderson?
I did. And, we used to staying up all night watching that. But, yeah, I did watch that one.
Imagine telling that young man in 2016 that he'd be on a similar card 8 years later.
Yeah, that is mad. I did know, though.
You knew?
I did know. I knew.
How?
I knew. And ask anybody. Because I just knew. I just had this... I've had this gear in me. And it got to that point where it was like mind over matter. And I just, it would have took anything to get here. You know what I mean? I would have done anything. Lied, cheated, and stole my way up if I had to get here. And I got here. So I knew then, but of course, it is surreal. I do every day. I'm pinching myself because I'm like, wow, I literally did turn that into. I was talking to my close friend the other day about this. It is crazy how you can turn things into reality just by wanting it. Mad.
Is this training camp different than the last one because there's no sort of fear of the unknown? Like you've gone through it once, you got that whole experience out of the way. Like now you're kind of in a groove. Does it feel at all different? Do you feel like you have more confidence?
Yeah, I feel like the pressure's off me.
Nice.
The pressure's finally off me. Even like I'm talking to you now, the pressure's off me. I'm just talking to you like as if we're
just
down
mates.
the pub having a chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, all of it. The chains are off. At that Contender Series, that was like, because of the way that fight went, that was like, and Dana was like, I was on the fence for this one, and then he told me when he signed me, he said, well done, be careful what you wish for, kid. And then I always kind of thought about that. And then the main challenge was dealing with the occasion. That was kind of the whole challenge behind it. And I went out on my debut, flew across the Honda Center. I fought on a pay-per-view like that. And just about everything that I ever dreamed of happened all in the space of a couple of days before I got the result. And then I was sat in the change room thinking, this is the most perfect week of my life so far. Everything's come true. Now I've got this daunting task ahead of me. So it was like a pressure, and I felt like I dealt with it really well. So now this time, I'm determined to go out there, and I'm not leaving anything to chance. I'm going to go and take it. You know what I mean? I'm not leaving nothing to chance. I'm going to go in there and take it and show everybody just how good I am. You know what I mean?
How do you feel about Preston?
So, yeah. Preston Parsons. It's a funny name, isn't it?
It sounds
Do
like
you think?
it's like almost
It's like someone
a bad
like
guy in like a
disguised name.
1980s movie or something like that, you know?
Yeah. Or like you're saying, right, you're gonna go in there now, but don't tell them your real name. Say your name, something like, I don't know, Preston Parsons. Yeah, he's a good fighter. He's on his second contract. He's had 4 fights in the UFC?
Yeah, I believe
and
so.
I'm his 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's no mug, is it? He's a good fighter. But he's not as good as me. That's all I've really got to say about him. Yeah, he'll find out. He'll find out.
You almost like switched there. Your demeanor switched.
Yeah, I do feel like that is kind of happening to me in the last week or so, the last couple of weeks. Yeah. I'm not having it, mate. I swear to God, I'm not having. No one's taking this from me. Do you know what I mean? No one's taking this from me. It's like a touchy subject. You know what I mean?
What? Can you explain what is touchy?
No. It's like, how dare you, in a way.
Yeah.
That's kind of where you say my demeanor changed.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
No, there is that. Of course, it's just competition and all that, and he probably feels exactly the same way about me, but just I'm not giving this up, Ariel. Do you know what I mean? I'm not giving this up. No way. So Preston Parsons, whether it was Preston Parsons or anybody else, I'm prepared to I'm prepared to take them all on. And Preston, he's the biggest fight of my life to date, and I'm looking forward to going there and showing the levels.
You watch a lot of footage on him?
I've seen what I need to see.
Okay.
So I don't sit there and study him and like obsessively. Of course, I've studied him. But yeah, I've seen him. I know what he's about. I'd like to think. Yeah, but I never really like to deal with it like that, because anything could happen on the night. He could come out with a totally different style. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he's riding a good wave. Like his last 3 fights, he lost a split decision in his last loss. So, if instead of just one judge on the night gave him the scorecards, if 2 of them did,
yeah,
it would be a different conversation. He'd be on a 3-fight win streak. So this is a big fight. It's a tough fight. But yeah, I'm ready for whatever he's going to bring. I'm not slipping up now. There's no way.
I saw that you signed the contract. Were you like in a pub or a bar or something when you signed the contract for this fight?
I was in an undisclosed location area.
What do you mean? Why?
That's just one of my hangouts. I'm sure Che will explain.
Oh, sorry,
to that
it's gangster stuff.
It's undisclosed.
Okay. Was there a particular reason why you signed it there?
I was just enjoying myself.
Okay.
Having just having a little, just unwinding, after a hard day's training.
Sure.
Doing a bit of business. Yeah.
Have you and Chael kept in touch since your?
We have.
Wow.
We have. That's cool. It's cool, isn't it?
How so?
I congratulated him on the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I wished him luck when he went out and beat Anderson again.
Sure. Right.
So yeah, we kept in touch like that. Yeah, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's weird to hear his voice.
Oh, does he send you voice notes?
It's like he voiced that would be back. Yeah, and it's like how is this man now talking to me? It's weird. That's where the fan comes in. It's like I'm not just suddenly turning into some like jackass with it all, going of course I appreciate it, but we kept in touch. I kept in touch with Big Phil as well, CM Punk. We kept in touch since.
Look at you.
It's cool, isn't it?
Look at
it's
you.
Cool. It's cool. It's cool.
I noticed that. Did you get a tattoo of your grandfather on his wedding day?
I did. Yes, very well. Let me just get in there. There it is. Can you see him?
Yeah. What? Why did you choose that? What does that signify?
Because he turned 85 the other day, and I was just like, what can I get him as a present? There's no like real the respect I have for that man is like unlike anybody in the world. You know what I mean? He is so I was like thinking of ways that I could show my respect for him, and I just on the biggest and best day of his life, got a portrait of him on his wedding day, and I didn't tell him. I went to see him. I'm my nan, and we were talking in the kitchen. I showed him a picture of his of the wedding day. I was like, I come across this the other day. Do you remember this? He went, bloody hell, that was years ago. And then and I showed him my arm, and he's just, couldn't believe it.
Wow.
And it was a nice way to tip my hat to him. You know what I mean? I wanted him to see it, and he always taught me to shake hands with my right hand. So I got it on my right arm, and I went to him. I said, "Why do you think I got it on my right arm?" And he goes, "That's how you shake hands." And I was like, "Yeah,
wow.
It's cool, isn't it? It's a cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a cool thing."
You're a very emotional guy, a very sensitive guy. I feel.
I am. Yeah, I feel like that. I feel that is a very good description of me, and I use it as like my fuel. You know what I mean? And
because you're passionate.
Passionate is the right word. Yeah, I'm passionate about things like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like to keep my morals close. Don't like to let them drift to things that don't matter. And I feel like family and family is above all else the most important thing we've got, in my opinion. So that's kind of why I carry myself, I guess, in the way I do. Like I don't care what people think, as long as I've got, as long as I'm doing right by my family. If my granddad turned around and said, "Hey, you're acting like a bit of a dick," I'd be, I would really, really take that, really, really, really upset me. That would really mess with my head. But if any Tom, Dick, and Harry online talking shit about me or whatever, it just literally bounces off straight back at them. So yeah, just don't know, it's just who I am, I guess.
Have you sorted your Twitter problems, or is that still? Are you still banned?
Still banned.
Crazy.
I just gave up. I didn't even know how to really appeal it. I appealed it, and I said something like, "I didn't mean it. It was a joke or something." And they just said back, "You violent hate speech." And because I said to another guy, "Be careful who you're talking to, or you get whacked." And like on gangster films, that means you're gonna get.
Yeah, of course.
It was just a joke, man.
Yeah.
How were they banning me for that? Like,
you were having a laugh.
I don't care. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was only messing with with Colby, ish. Yeah. So
what about?
I didn't sort that out.
What about this bear tattoo on your shoulder?
Oh yeah, we're going into the tattoos. Yeah,
I mean,
got
come
this.
on, look at this. This is something else.
It hurt.
It's unbelievably detailed. What does that signify?
My debut in California, the bear.
Come on.
Yeah, I swear to God. And it's a ape. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. And it's an apex predator. Oh. And I had nothing for the Contender Series, so I got the bald eagle of America underneath it.
Wow.
And just locked it in.
Wait, you were paying homage to the apex?
Oh no, not the it's like America, and that's where it began.
I love it.
I'm not. Someone said, "Oh, you're gonna get a tattoo of Manchester," and I was like, "No, come on,
let's not get crazy."
It's not. It's just that's where it's. Cap off a chapter and close a chapter.
Yeah.
And I always wanted a tattoo like this, like The Rock in the same place The Rock has his. Where he's got that bull carcass. I really liked it, but I didn't know how I was going to put it together. But it was perfect, really. And cool, wasn't it?
It's cool. Very cool and very well done. Would you ever, true or false?
Thank you.
Would you ever get a chail tattoo?
That'd be a bit weird, I think.
Okay, fine.
Don't you think? That'd be a bit weird. I think he'd probably be like, right, okay, he's getting a bit. It's a bit weird now,
Were you happy when England lost to Spain in the Euro final? Were you one of those Welsh people?
I grew up a lot of my life in England. I didn't. That doesn't. I went to secondary school in England, so that doesn't really. No. I don't really care though. Don't really care, but I've never really been able to support England because if I'm in England, they call me the Welsh kid, and then when I'm in Wales, a lot of the time, messing about, they call me the English kid or whatever. So it just goes over my head. I don't really care about that, about the football.
But you'll get cheered on Saturday.
I should do, but if I get booed, then that'll probably be make for a better entertainment. I'll just be the heel. It's never going to bother me if I get booed. But yeah, I don't think I should get cheered. Against
an American? Yeah. I think you will. What about the fact that week, you talk about that week, what a dream week it was for you, and then you cap it off. I made a call or two, and there you are, front row, Monday Night Raw, next to Michael Chandler cutting a promo. I know. That was crazy.
I know, crazy. I saw him at the back, and I said, good promo, very good, and he said, that means a lot coming from you. Thank you.
Wow.
No, he didn't. He didn't read it. No. He said, oh, thank you very much. Like, great job on the weekend. Keep fighting.
Oh, he didn't say like, you want to take a picture, kid? I'll see you at the top.
Nah. Yeah, nah.
And then I see
we had a little picture.
And then I see you at Clash at the Castle.
Yeah.
Look at you. You're like now a part of the circuit.
And I had TKO follow me the other day.
Wow.
And I looked at their things and I was like, right, so who do they follow? Thinking it was going to be everyone. It's only a couple of people on there. Yeah. So I was like, what's going on here? Yeah. I had I was at the Clash at the Castle. I was up there kind of in secret because surely I'll be allowed to say this.
Oh, now I'm putting 2 to 2 together. I'm putting 2 to 2 together. Is it because of Phil?
Yes. He's sorted it out.
You knew
it's cool.
Wow, you got to go to Clash of the Castle because you're now a close and personal friend of the best in the world.
Well, I guess so. I would say so. Yeah, he is a great guy. I was just over there making sure nothing got out of hand.
It was a great return
kind of thing.
It was a great return.
Yeah.
That was what a show.
Yeah.
The crowd was on fire, huh?
Oh, amazing. Yeah, it was really loud in there. I just love the chants. I can't wait until I'm in them shoes and I get a chant like that. It'd be so cool. Yeah, Cody Rhodes on fire. They were all really good show. Fair play to them. The athletic prowess that you see as well. Mm-hmm. It's a rough game. You've obviously been there ringside, I'm sure. You've been pretty close. Yeah,
not as close as you. I'm not as special as you, but I've dabbled, and it's amazing.
If you want tickets, let me know.
Did you watch the Jake Paul fight on Saturday?
I tried to stay up for it, but I was getting pretty tired. I'm staying up later anyway, but that was like what, 4 a.m, 5?
Yeah, for you, maybe later. Yeah, 5. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I was trying to keep up, but I hit the hay. But fair play to him. Fair play.
So what do you think? Because all the MMA fighters like to talk shit afterwards. I think it's more out of jealousy, to be honest.
Well, put it like this. This is, I literally just explained this to my barber now, right? Say what you want about him. I'm in the position where you've got to go out there, no matter how good you are. You've got to walk into an arena and perform.
Yeah.
You've got to be composed enough to perform. He's put himself at the main event, fighting guys who've made the walk a lot more than he has, and he's composed enough to get the job done. Like, he's looking across at Anderson Silva, and he's composed enough to get the job done. So, yeah, I know. We all know that he's fighting guys that don't professionally box full time, and he's and a lot of, up until Perry, I think. Is it everybody was like retired or whatever? Is that the thing?
A little bit older, yeah. Certainly.
Yeah, a little bit older, but I think if we were talking about anybody else, if it was like Joe Rogan said, I think, and like an up and comer, we'd be like, this guy could be really, really good. So yeah, I think fair play to Jake Paul, what he's doing. And he lumps that pressure on himself and he still goes out there and gets it done. So, and that's a tough thing to do. So fair play.
It's not easy to make that walk in the main event and Everyone's
Nah.
looking at you and everyone's hoping that you fail, and you're fighting like certified. Like Mike Perry, and again, I say this with the utmost love and respect, is a bit of a psycho, and like that guy's looking to cut your head off. But you know, I don't know. People
And he's
get
still got to get. I think people are trashing Jake Paul. Do you not get the business? Like, he's got that much hate online. He's not going to do a U-turn and try and get people to like him. He's got that much hate. He's thinking, okay, I'm getting hate. Let's just keep chucking fuel on the fire. Let's just make this bigger and bigger and bigger. He's filling arenas up. He's booked to fight Tyson. He's clearly doing something like that. Do you not get the business? Like, why are you biting? Don't bite. He's probably a decent guy behind closed doors. You know what I mean? So, just, you know, I think fair play. What he's going out there and doing, you know. And he gave Tommy Fury a good fight as well. So, yeah, I feel like if everybody stopped saying how bad Jake Paul was, maybe this whole thing wouldn't be so surprising, because he's not that bad, is he? He's good.
This is one of the more sensible takes that I've heard on Jake Paul from a fighter.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the weight issue with Perry, he looked pretty small in there, but you know, Usyk was just way smaller than Fury. So if you're that much better, surely you make up for it. I don't really like that he's fighting Tyson, because Tyson, you know, Jake Paul is clearly a powerful big guy, and Mike is obviously nearly 60. It's like, oh, does that really, you know? Yeah. So yeah, just one of them. I'm just being, I guess you said it was sense, but I'm just being honest about it. That's just what's going on.
Well, I appreciate that you don't, because a lot of it comes across to me as jealousy when the fighters talk. Like, he's given all these guys, including Perry, the biggest payday of their career. No one's forcing Mike Perry or anyone to take these fights. They're going out there, they're doing it. They think they can knock his block off, and you know, and they're falling short. And you could say after the fact that he's bullying, he's picking his opponents. He's in a position to be able to pick his opponents.
He's not any different to any other boxer fighting a 5 and 50 on the way up, is he? You know what I mean? So yeah, fair. If Perry says yes, why shouldn't you go out there and fight him? We are probably right on the jealousy thing. I don't really care. Me, I just watch him and think, oh, he's done it again. And I actually watched him the other day and thought, right, he actually looked really good there. So fair enough. I'm not really bothered about Jake Paul. Yeah.
So what do we think? Saturday, how do you win? Well, technically Sunday morning. How do we win?
I haven't knocked anybody out on a few fights, Ariel. I think this is the one.
This is the one.
I think this is the one. It's all kind of happened at once. It's like an arc in a story. It's like my knockouts early on in my career were all the time, and then and that's amateur as well, going back, and you know, all happened so quick. I was knocking everybody out. Boom, 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 boom. I come across a guy on the way up in Cage Warriors, and I tried to knock him out. I rushed it. He didn't go away. I paid the price. Since then, I've been like, right, you got to go out there and do. You know, you can't just go in there hunting a knockout. So since then, it's kind of been a bit more just make sure you win kind of thing. Make sure you go out there and perform, not just hunt the knockout, because you know, only amateurs, rookies hunt a knockout. Now it's all kind of unfolded the way it has. I know what to do in there. I know what it's like in there, and I don't think he's gonna see the final bell, Ariel. No way.
And by the way, what weight is this at, this fight? I just want to make sure there's no confusion with your coach.
Yeah, I know you get me confused with a heavyweight. Yeah. Ariel. And I know Shaky, as you said, can't read the contracts half the time. But this is welterweight, I think.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you the best. Go out there, enjoy it, have a great week, and looking forward to seeing you do as you predicted on Saturday. Let's do this.
Thank you very much, Ariel, mate. Thank you. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All the best, you, Oban. Thank you so much, and good luck Saturday night.
Thank you, brother.
You're the man.
Thank you, Ariel.
There he is, the Welsh gangster, Oban Elliott. Big fight for him, close to home in the UK. I like him. Emotional guy, sensitive guy. You can see wears his heart on his sleeve. Passionate. I like it. My kind of guy. Great stuff there. Looking forward to be joined by Terence Crawford in a moment. I wanted to play the promo. Do we have time, or is he there? Or is he not?
We still have time.
Okay. Terence Crawford is coming back on August 3rd. Riyadh season card, LA, BMO Stadium, fighting Israil Madrimov, 154. It's going to be a scene. What a card. Eminem's playing. Anyway, the promos have been great for the Riyadh season cards. This, in my opinion, is the best one. Why? Because it tells a story of two men, not just one. But it's not them playing, dress up. It actually tells their story. Thought it was fantastic. It's beautifully shot. If you haven't seen it, take a look at this.
Final seconds of the 11th round. What more could they possibly give?
So good. God, I love this. Okay, so that's some of the promo here. You can watch the whole thing online. It's incredible stuff. It's the best one that they've put together, in my opinion, and it's worth putting together. It's worth putting in that, that production value, whatever that costs, because you have one of the best fighters on the planet fighting in about 2 weeks' time, August 3rd, BMO Stadium. It's an honor, as always, to be joined by Terence Bud Crawford, moving up to 154 against Israil Madrimov. Terence, how are you? Thanks for doing this.
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I'm just chilling out.
Where are you now?
I'm in Vegas.
Okay. Well, good to see you in Vegas. The footage is a little choppy. I don't know if you're moving away from Wi-Fi or you're not using Wi-Fi, but it's a little bit broken up.
All right, hold on. Let me see if it'd be better if I'm in the car.
Okay. We'll give you a second there. But yes, that promo is fantastic. It should settle in. Should we reconnect?
Yeah, we'll reconnect with them.
Okay.
Is that better?
A little bit. Maybe you'll set. Are you on Wi-Fi or are you on?
No, I'm not on Wi-Fi.
Okay. Yeah, this is getting better. This is getting better. Great to talk to you, man. Thank you. Are you just sitting in the car and you put your seatbelt on just in case?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. That promo was incredible, man. Have you watched the whole thing?
Oh yeah, sure. A couple of times.
What are you thinking when you see that?
Oh man, I just was happy that somebody took the time to put some effort into promoting the fight. Is dope.
Is there a part of you when you see that saying like, yeah, it's about time, like someone wants to tell my story, wants to get behind me? Like I've never really seen you presented that way before. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, for sure. I said it before, something like that is nice to see somebody took the time out to actually put a story together to promote a fight like myself.
How long did that take? Like, how long did you have to shoot it for?
15 hours.
Serious? 15 hours?
Yes, 15 hours.
Were you annoyed? Were you bored?
It was cool. I was tired, but at the same time, I know it's for a good cause. You know, it turned out wonderful, even though half of the stuff that we did there didn't get put on the scene. But, you know, that's part of, you know, making a commercial.
And were you around Israil a lot, or did you guys not actually shoot on the same day?
No, we actually shot on the same day.
Oh, was that weird?
No, not at all. He's a good guy. You know, he's very respectful. He's, you know, quiet. You know, we respect each other enough to know to turn on when and turn off.
Okay, I lost you there, but I think you're back now. So all of this came as a result of, you know, your affiliation with Turkey Al Sheikh and this Riyadh season card, the first one outside of Saudi Arabia. Can I ask, how did this come about? How did you link up with him?
Well, you know, we've been in contact with him for a little bit now, and he's been wanting to do business with me for some time now, and us going up in weight, looking for the best opportunity for myself at the next division. Israil had just came off of a spectacular win, and we actually wanted to fight for Dora for the first fight coming back, and he turned it down, so we had to go to the next option, and why not go to the number one guy in the division, and that's Israil.
And so this relationship with Turkey and Riyadh season, is it just for this fight, or is it for multiple fights?
Well, we doing fight by fight.
Okay. And so far, are you happy with the way things are going?
Yes, for sure. For sure. Everything's been smooth selling so far, and I'm pleased with how the promotion's been going, the card that he put together. Everything's been good so far.
You know, you can make a strong case that this might be the best card in like the last 30 years in America, from top to bottom, with all the names on it. It's really a who's who, and not something that you often see in America. It actually reminds me a lot more of like a UFC card where you know every single fighter from top to bottom. I was just wondering your reaction when you saw like what they were presenting, the card on paper. What did you think when you saw that?
Oh, when I seen the card on paper, I was just like, man, this is crazy. You know, and not only that, it's the fact that he was trying to put other people on the card as well.
Right.
You know, fights that didn't pan out to make it to the card, but that just goes to show what he's trying to do in the sport of boxing. It's, you know, bring the best fight cards, not just the fights. He's trying to bring the best fight cards back to boxing like the old days where, you know, HBO had so many talented fighters been fighting on the same card and whatnot.
Was the plan for you always after the Spence fight to move up to 54, or was that something that has materialized over time?
But initially, that was the plan. That was the plan from the get-go. You know, 47 was hard. To me, you know, I felt as if I struggled more making the weight than Spence did. A lot of people don't know that, but, you know, in the weigh-ins, I felt as if he made weight easier than I did.
And it seemed like everyone thought that, you know, the rematch would happen right away because of the rematch clause. From your perspective, why didn't it happen?
I really can't say. You know, I didn't hear anything from Team Spence or his handlers after the fight. So, you know, everything just kind of went cold turkey.
Are you annoyed, or for lack of a better word, like, I don't know, just kind of frustrated that it's been a year between fights, or is that what you wanted? Did you want to take a year off after that last fight?
Yeah, I was a little frustrated at first, but at the same time, there's nothing I can do. We was contracted to do a rematch, and we had so so many months to get the rematch done. And if we didn't get it done in an amount of time, that the contract would be voided. So being that we wasn't able to get in touch with anybody or talk to anybody about the rematch, we just had to wait till the time came to where we can go and do our own thing.
Okay, so at this point, he can no longer, trigger a rematch. Like that's done. That no longer is. Wow. Okay. And are you surprised by that?
Initially, I was surprised, but at the same time, I don't know what's going on over there on his side, so I really can't speak too much about the situation, because I don't know. I don't know what led him or his team to not want to fight or just, say forget about it and go talk cold turkey and not communicate. But like I always say, everything happens for a reason, and for that reason being, it didn't happen. I'm here now, and I'm looking forward to next week.
Do you think you're done fighting at 47? Like it's now 54 or higher?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And how familiar were you with Madrimov? Obviously, like you said, he had a great win in March on the AJ and Ngannou card. Is this someone that you've been watching? I know only 11 pro fights, but extensive amateur record. Have you been knowing him for a while, or did he just come on your radar?
Well, I'm not going to say that I've been watching him, because I haven't been watching him to fight him. To say, did I know who he was? Yes, I did know who he was, because I actually visited Uzbekistan before, a few years ago. And they presented me with the Sultan robe and treated me with the utmost respect, because Uzbekistan is a big fight country. They love boxing, so they support all the top fighters. And they got an extensive amateur program over there. And I got to talk about Israel and was mentioned about him and things like that. And it's crazy because I never even thought that we ever be in a ring together. But like I said, things happen and come back in full circle.
It's an interesting fight because I feel like now you're one of the faces of boxing, obviously one of the best fighters in the world. You're known worldwide. He isn't necessarily. So I wonder if like the casual fans who ask you like, oh, who are you fighting next? And you tell them Israil Madrimov, will be like, who's he? The hardcores know who he is and know how tough he is, but you don't get like the same type of recognition that you do fighting a Spence or someone like that who's a lot more well-known. So it's like you took the toughest guy who may not be the most popular guy, so you don't get the same type of credit on the back end for beating the toughest guy. You know what I mean? Do you think about that sort of thing?
Yeah.
And have you noticed that as well, that you have to almost try to explain to people like, no, this isn't some can. This dude's the champ and is actually super, super tough.
Well, no, I don't feel like I need to explain anything to anyone. If you're a fan of boxing, you need to go do your own research before you open your mouth. That's what's wrong with a lot of people. Just because they don't know someone, that they dismiss the talent that person carries or the level of skill that the person opposes. It's kind of like an artist or a football player or a basketball player. You may not know him, but he's very talented, and you may, look at a basketball player and say, "Oh man, you pick this guy up," or you may look at a rapper and be like, "Who is you, man? You can't rap." But then when he start rapping, you be like, "Hey, hold up, this guy's kind of nice. He probably got some skills." Got to start somewhere.
I saw you front row at SmackDown on Friday, which was awesome. You and Cody Rhodes. How did that all come together? I know they were in Omaha, but how did it happen to where you were in the front row there?
The moves and the things that they did. So, of course, I'm going to be supported by my city. Take my kids. They love it. And yeah, we did what we did. And then, we made history again.
Any chance, Floyd did it, had a match against the Big Show. Any chance of you actually having a match?
I don't know. I haven't really gotten into it that far, but to say that the experience was second to none, I must say, it was electrifying. I was actually nervous doing it.
Really?
Yeah, because it was just different. Like, all right, I'm gonna give him this chair. Go hit this dude with it. You know what I mean? But it was dope. It was a good feeling because not only was it in my hometown, but it was live on WWE, and that's a big thing. It's a big platform.
Would you be open to it? Like if they say, "Hey, you want to do something?" Like, is that something you would consider?
Probably. Probably.
That would be wild. Do you still watch it, or when you were a kid?
Well, my kids still watch it here and there, so sometimes I catch it and watch it, with them. And, I see The Rock coming back and things like that, and John Cena and all those guys, and it'd be fun, watching Roman Reigns do his thing, and it just bring back memories to see my kids excited like I once was when I was a kid.
Did you get to go backstage with them?
Yeah, for sure.
That's the coolest when you see everyone back there, and it's like, wow, you get to see like peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, see them prepping, it's kind of funny because how we warm up and before we come through the tunnel and we getting ready for our big moment. It's the same way they do. So, they getting mentally, physically, and emotionally ready to go entertain the crowd. So it's like, they amping themselves up and they just, getting their little sweat on and talking to themselves and getting in that mode. It's dope because, I know exactly how they feel.
Do your kids know that it's scripted? Because I took my kids backstage one time and they didn't know at the time. And then I saw like the guys like, going through things, and I was trying to shield them from it so that they wouldn't find out that it's all scripted. Did yours know that?
No, they didn't until, they went back there.
Oh, wow.
Was able to speak. But they know all of it's not real, but a lot of it is real. Those guys, they deal with a lot of pain and agony and injuries just like us as fighters. I was talking to a guy there and I was just asking him the injury rate, and he said it's 100% injury rate. There's no way around it. There's going to be 100% injury rate that you're going to get hurt at some point. And I was just like, dang. And the level of toughness that you got to have to know that you're going to get injured one way or another to entertain these fans is dope. The things that people go through just to put a smile on the fans' face is amazing.
I saw a clip last summer of you wrestling someone like on a front lawn. You guys were like not doing pro wrestling, like more, like amateur wrestling.
My little cousin.
Yeah, man. I had Demetrius Johnson, the former UFC champion, Mighty Mouse. He was on the show, and the clip had just come out. It had just surfaced, and he like broke it down, and he was so impressed with your hips. And I know that you've dabbled and your kids wrestle a little bit, but like you have what all the boxers who have talked about MMA don't have. Like you have that base. It's really impressive. And that was a year ago. I don't know if you've been keeping up with it. Do you still do it from time to time?
No, I don't try to because you can get injured playing around just doing crazy stuff. But at the same time, here and there, I mess around with my kids or a couple of friends and things like that. Because being around wrestling and going to their practices and being there, and your old wrestling buddies is coming to the gym because they got their kids or nephews or nieces wrestling at the same time. We tend to mess around a little bit here and there and challenge each other, but for the most part, be putting on my wrestling shoes and going out there practicing. I don't do none of that.
I know you had a send-off on Saturday, and Logan Paul showed up. I know you're sponsored by Prime. What was that like to get that again, to see all that love from your community as you head off to the West Coast?
Oh, it was dope. It was dope. It was amazing. It turned out. Logan came up and showed a lot of support. The people was happy to see him. They was excited. The kids loved the prime drink. They won a lot of pictures with Logan and myself, and it was just a cool environment for us to go out there and take pictures and mingle with the fans that look up to us.
Did you watch the Jake Paul fight on Saturday night?
I did.
What can I ask? As one of the best in the world, what'd you make of it?
I think, like I said in the interview, I think Jake is getting better. He may need to work on his stamina a little bit, but for the most part, I gained a lot of respect for Jake because he's not a YouTuber that's just boxing just to box. He actually trains and actually want to get better and actually have got better and really putting his time, focus, and energy into boxing. So you got to respect that.
Yeah, and do you have interest in seeing him fight Mike Tyson?
No.
Why not?
I don't. I think Mike Tyson is, an icon in boxing, and he's done a lot for boxing in his own right. And I just think Mike is past his prime. Mike is old. I wouldn't want to see Mike go in the ring and get hurt on a fight where he's just doing it just for the money or entertainment. I just think, him having his problems, his health problems is another added reason why I don't want to see him in the ring anymore.
Jake says he could get a cruiserweight title in 2 years. Do you think he can?
It's possible. It's possible. Listen, man, a lot of people write Jake off, but Jake can punch with that right hand. He got a nice right hand. He's building himself up just like a regular boxer. People got to understand that. People look at Jake and say, well, Jake needs to fight me. Jake needs to fight me. Jake needs to fight me. Everybody's grabbing for the attention to fight Jake at this moment. But it's just like a professional boxer coming up in the rankings. They're not going straight to the champion. They're going to work their way up and fight the best fights that they can learn from. Not get beat, learn from. So right now, Jake is still in the learning process. He's only got, how many fights he got?
10.
He only got 10.
Yeah.
Well, 10 fights. He
got
10 fights. So, he's taking his time, and that's what he should do. Take your time, keep getting better, keep learning new tricks and things like that in the ring, and keep getting more experience. Then, sooner or later, once you start picking up the fights with better competition, then you'll be ready for those moments because you build the ring IQ, you build the stamina, you build everything that you need to know in those early fights to keep gradually getting better in the bigger and better fights.
Mm-hmm. 2 last quick topics, if I may. What would you like to see Shakur Stevenson do? What do you think his next step should be?
I would like to see him do exactly what he's doing now. That's keeping his name out there in the media and people talking about him. And then ultimately, I want to see him fight the best in the division. I want to see him unify the division and fight these guys that say he's not this great fighter that they think he is. I want to see those guys get in the ring with him.
Do you think he should sign with Matchroom?
I don't know. I don't know what type of deal Matchroom is giving him. I don't know what the offer is, but I just want him to do what's best for him.
Fair enough. And I've seen a bunch of interviews that you've done leading up to this one, and I know people ask you about Canelo, and I know you'll say you're just focusing on August 3rd, so I don't want to ask you the same question. But could I just ask hypothetically, because I said last week on the show, I am more interested right now in a potential Terence Crawford Boots Ennis fight than Terence Crawford versus Canelo. Am I crazy for saying that? Or
No, crazy. You're not crazy because that's your opinion.
right.
You know, that's your opinion, but at the same time, you know, being where I'm at right now, I'm looking at the fight that makes the most sense, and that's not Boots. Canelo's going to bring way more to my legacy, way more to my bank account, you know, because at the end of the day, when boxing is done with, what will we have?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to have a legacy that's something that people talk about for the ages. And not only that, I want to have a bank account that will last for ages as well. So
I don't blame you. So is there a chance, if all goes well in the third, that Canelo could be next?
Could be. We have to see.
Wow.
Have to see.
That would be something.
One fight at a time.
Where would that be? Where would that take place? Would that be like, would that have to be in Saudi, or would it be in Vegas, or?
I don't know.
Would that be your choice? I know it's one fight at a time, but if you can map it out, would that be your choice?
No, it would be everybody's choice. Canelo would have to agree. I would have to agree. Turkey would have to agree because he'd be the one that's, you know, dishing out the money. So it'd be a lot of things, a lot of moving parts got to be involved in that fight.
What weight would that be at? Last question. If you can give me that, would it be 168? As high as that, or 160?
168.
Dang, you're gonna go from 54 to 68. You're gonna jump over 2 weight classes.
If that's the fight that's in front of me, then yes.
That's what the pound for pound king does.
That's all.
I love it. Well, first things first. Good luck to you. Can't wait for it. August 3rd. What a scene it's going to be. BMO Stadium, DAZN pay-per-view. Always a pleasure to talk to you, Terence. All the best to you in the last couple of weeks of training camp. Appreciate it very much, and good luck to you on the 3rd of August.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
All right, there he is. The great Terence Bud Crawford. Great stuff that, I have to say, guys, I like to listen to a lot of the interviews beforehand. He's never said that. Everyone's asked him about the Canelo fight, and he's always said, one fight at a time. He's never said that. What we got there was more interested in Canelo than Boots. Not surprising. Canelo's obviously freaking Canelo. And sounds like that's what he wants next. And at 168. What do you think of that? Rick, your quick thoughts? Who, me? Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more.
Interested in the fight. Like the idea of Terence Crawford getting an opportunity to chase greatness in that way, because I do think he's one of the best boxers of our generation. So, yeah, I'm for it. I kind of probably side with you in I might rather see something else.
Well, it's just because of the weight.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, and but the challenges out there for Terence are what at this point? Once the Spence fight was done, it was like, man, what more can he do? And Canelo is kind of
him versus Boots would be a great fight.
It's fine. It's a great fight, but to his point, what does that do for his legacy?
No, I know. Well, it's just
Canelo?
like him making a run now at 154. Let's see how he looks on August 3rd. But that was good. He has always said one fight at a time, but he gave us a little morsel there. Which is very exciting. Okay, one more guest to go. And, I was thinking, okay, this is our last show before we head off to Paris, Olympic Ariel. It's been much talked about. And, of course, I know many Olympians. I'm very good friends with many Olympians. I don't know if you guys know this. Daniel Cormier, 2-time Olympic veteran, if you will. Obviously, we know what happened in 2008. Ronda Rousey, very good friend of mine. And we know Mark Coleman. Who else? Andre Ward, Oscar De La Hoya. but we don't know many back-to-back Olympic gold medalists. So there was only one choice. There was only one option for our final guest before our Olympic break. And that, of course, is the back-to-back Olympic gold medalist from both 2012 and 2016. And I made the mistake one time of calling her a former Olympian. And you've corrected me, and I've never done it again. Once an Olympian, always an Olympian.
Never former, never past. That's right, baby.
There she is, the great Kayla Harrison. Hello, Kayla. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I feel like I should have worn my gold medals today. I should have been like super cringe, like Henry.
No.
Just look.
Do you have them? Like, are they in a safe?
They're in my sock drawer.
Really? That's where you put them?
Yeah.
You don't put them in like a special spot? You don't hang them up or?
No. I mean, I used to do a lot of appearances, and so I would like need to have quick access to them. So I didn't ever hang them up or anything like that. I don't know. It's weird. My assistant one year for Christmas had my PFL belts framed and like hung up for me, but they were in my closet before. Like I would never hang up those things on my own.
By the way, all these years I've known you, I never knew you had an assistant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Am I just in such a special category that I get to bypass the assistant?
Like mother's helper, really.
Okay.
But yeah, assistant / nanny / just like my life is very big and very busy, and my bandwidth is like,
Yeah.
So.
By the way, what means more to you, the gold medals or the PFL titles?
The gold medals.
Okay.
For sure.
I wasn't sure. And do you get into the Olympic spirit? Like, do you get excited? Do old feelings come back? Do you start to see all the promos and all that? How do you process it?
I haven't seen a bunch of the promos. Well, I get super excited. Yes and no. Like, for sure, the Olympics is such an amazing experience, Ariel. Like, I think there's something still, obviously it's $1 billion corporation. Like they make a shit ton of money putting on the Olympics. But as an athlete, especially an athlete growing up doing this like totally random sport, like that dream, that goal, you're not going to be famous. You're not going to be rich. You're not going to have any, endorsement deals. And so being a kid and growing up with the goal and the dream of being an Olympic champion, and dude, like walking into the opening ceremonies, feeling the heat of the Olympic flame, like the Olympic torch being lit, and then it like being like rising up right in front of me. It was like magic. Like, yeah.
Will you watch them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My kids. We're going to be an Olympic household.
And what, if anything, do you know about the American team, the judo team?
So my very good friend, Angelica Delgado, is, this is her last Olympic run. So we grew up together doing judo. I mean, I think I've known her since I was 13. So she's on, and I believe there are 3 other members of the team. Don't quote me on that, but I'm most looking forward to her. This is her last big push. So yeah, I'll be cheering her on big time. I haven't judo. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I haven't been following judo on the world circuit.
Is there a reason for that? You just had enough of it?
I mean, I just don't have, like, I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV. So.
I mean, we do have phones now where you can get news, like, you can look things up.
How long did it take for you to be sassy?
No, it's not I don't even know if judo airs on TV. Does judo air on?
4 minutes, 4 minutes to be sassy with me. Yeah, I just I have so much going on. Like,
I know, I get it.
You get it.
Can I ask?
I mean, it's your job to follow combat
Sure.
sports. Some of you don't know, but.
Which one did you enjoy more, 2012 or 2016? Like, which one do you have more fond memories of?
That's tough. I think that London was special because no one from America had ever won a gold medal before. And it was my first. And it was just like I said, magical. Like everything went great. It was magical. And Rio was kind of like a little bittersweet because I knew it was my last Olympics. And so I tried to really soak up like be present and soak it all up. But I'd have to say London, I had a lot more of a upbeat experience.
Did you sleep on one of those cardboard beds?
I did, yeah.
Are they really bad, or is it overrated?
I mean, you know, you're hosting 10,000 athletes, so it's like it's not going to be the best accommodations, but I have definitely stayed in worse.
Right, and you were in the village with all the other countries and athletes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You loved it, mingling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not not much of a mingler, but yeah.
Okay, well, it's all very exciting. Obviously, now you're doing.
Are you excited? Let me ask you. Are you excited?
Oh, I was waiting for you to ask me. Yes, I cannot wait. I'm a little bit nervous about, being away for 2.5 weeks from I'm not usually away for that long. Usually the trips are like 3-4 days. It's a lot of packing and things of that nature. And also, when I do an interview with a fighter, like I have like a memory. I'm oversharing here, but since you asked, like I have like a memory bank. Like you tell me, like, oh yeah, UFC 300, and I could just open it up, even if I didn't know where the conversation was going. When I'm speaking to a power lifter or a canoe racer or a race walker, it's different. But I'm looking forward to that challenge. I'm going to be a part of the opening ceremony broadcast, and I don't know what's going to happen there. So I'm just looking forward to the.
Really?
Yeah. So,
dude, that's a big deal.
I'm pretty pumped about it.
That's a big deal. I have a question for you. I have more questions for you. So
please.
Like you obviously wear you're not the snazziest of dressers. Are you gonna bring out your best?
Wow. I don't know if you know, I was wearing like a gold tie on Saturday at the Jake Paul fight. It's like sort of.
I missed it.
Oh, also
didn't tune in.
It was okay.
Refused to tune in. Actually.
Wow, you're one of those haters. Like you go out of your way not to tune in.
No, I just am like, I'm just not gonna give my bandwidth or like precious time to things that don't bring me joy.
What about me being on the broadcast? Kind of a big deal.
No, that's a big deal. I want to support you, but I don't want to support that.
Okay. What about Mike Perry? You're not a fan?
He's cool. I mean, I don't really know him.
Okay.
Back to you.
Oh yeah.
So
what about not the snazzy? I've got a lot of nice suits, I think. But anyway,
do you have your fits picked? Like, are you ready to go?
Could you believe this, Kayla? My show.
Are they giving you Olympic gear?
I mean, if you want to be an interviewer, you have to wait for the answer, okay?
Sorry.
Lululemon is sponsoring my show, so they flew to my home, Kayla, and outfitted me with 20 different things, 20 outfits. I don't have to bring anything. And not only did they give me the stuff, and some of it's not really stuff that I would wear, but I was like, you know what, YOLO. They then had a tailor come and like tailor it to me, so it's not off the rack. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
this is custom,
first
bespoke.
of all, I would just like to say this is number one bullshit. Okay,
what?
Most of these athletes have trained their entire lives to get this satchel full of. That is a cool part of the Olympics. Like you go. For us, back in my day, it was Ralph Lauren and Nike. And so like we went to get go through processing and we get like these 2 giant friggin' bags and they fit you and they tailor everything. And it's like, it's sick. You get like way more clothes. I have boxes of Olympic clothes that I never wear. I should auction them off or do something with those. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I had another question for you.
Okay.
We talked about your clothes.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be on site like at the different events?
Oh, yeah.
And you're gonna be part of the opening ceremonies broadcast, and then do you know like which sports you're covering?
I'm hosting a nightly show for the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. None of this NBC nonsense.
So you're gonna have like medalists on?
Yes, before and after, recapping the day that was, previewing the day to come, and also going to be popping up on some of their shows as well. I have a credential that allows me to go to any event, so I can go anywhere, anytime. And yeah, my goal is to go out there, wow them, and then by the end, I'll be like, you know, their official correspondent, and they'll just have me on everything. You know, that's.
Yeah, you better prepare for a lot of filler just in case you guys don't take many medals.
No, I think Canada's going to do just fine. Well, that's actually the thing that I'm worried about. It's like, okay, well, the filler is what? Like, what are we going to talk about? Summer McIntosh, the 17-year-old swimmer who's going to be the most decorated medalist in Canadian Olympic history. Are you familiar with Summer McIntosh? What do you know about?
Have you seen Team USA? Like, America's back.
Oh, are they? Okay, we'll find out.
You will find out.
Yes.
Dude, we should make that. Do you want to have a medal?
No, you guys always win because you cheat. Because you're all on.
Oh, here we go with more false accusations. Unbelievable.
I was about to go down a path. I was like, wait a second.
No, it's bullshit. False accusations flying left and right. I won't stand for this.
Okay, well, speaking of which,
and not against America.
Speaking of which, exactly last week, right here on this program, there was a person who accused you of bad things. Can I, for those that may have missed it, can I just quickly play the clip and get your response?
Sure, please. By all means, give her more airtime.
Here she is. And just the fact that she made 135 blew my mind.
Right.
I was worried about that.
I was worried about that too.
How do you think she looked on the scale?
Great. Strong. Yeah. Stay off the needle, bro.
What do you think she's on?
Maybe not now.
Right.
I mean, definitely in the past. Absolutely. There's no question.
No question.
No question. I'll tell you why.
Why?
Talk about the tea. So at International Fight Week.
This past one?
Yes.
Okay.
We all came inside the rooms for the social media scrum. So it was like Meta, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, all these guys that are working.
No, okay, no, we don't. Okay, so we don't have to listen to the whole thing, but you've heard the clip, right? You've heard it.
Yes, I've heard.
Okay, so just in case people miss it. So your thoughts on what she said about you, and then she went in on ATT. She went in on Dan Lambert, poor innocent.
I know.
So
I know.
What's your response?
I mean, I just think it's hilarious. Like, haters gonna hate, dude. It blows my mind that it pisses me off. Number one, it pisses me off because, like, never once have I tested positive for anything ever in the history of my very long drug testing career. And number two, like, don't fucking say things like that if you don't have hard evidence. Like, that's a serious thing to talk about to me. You know, like, I take cheating very seriously, and I have always competed clean. I carry myself to a high standard. And I know that I haven't always competed against people who are clean, but I'm not going to throw accusations out just because I feel like I think they're not clean. Like, that's bullshit, you know? And I think it's bullshit because she just is like building in an excuse for when I whoop her ass, you know? So I'm annoyed by it. And at the same time, what a compliment. What a compliment. I'm 100% natty, and you all think that I'm on steroids because God forbid anyone ever work hard and like be disciplined and have a great team around them and like, you know, have results from that. God forbid anyone train from the time they were 6 years old until the time they're 34 years old and develop a physique that was built to beat the shit out of people. Like, God forbid someone believe in themselves and work hard and succeed. Wow, it's fucked up.
Obviously not the first.
She got to be cheating. She's got to be cheating.
She's not the first person to say this. Does it annoy you when you read this or hear this? Do you get upset?
I mean, I just don't care anymore. Like, I know the truth, and I'm happy with everything I've accomplished and I'm going to accomplish, and I'll never fail a drug test. You know why? Because I don't fucking cheat. So.
How old were you the first time you were tested?
12.
Wow.
I was in middle school. I remember it vividly because they went to my middle school and I was actually home sick that day. Like I was in the top 5 on the national roster for judo. And once you enter the top 5, you automatically go into USADA's drug testing pool. And my mom like filled out the forms for me. You know, I didn't. And so they went to my school. I wasn't there. They came to my house. And I remember like the next day I went to school. I had never peed in front of anyone. Like it was very, I was like, what is it?
Weird.
Yeah. And the next day, everybody at school was like, dude, are you like, did you go to jail? Are you on parole? Like, are you a drug addict? And I was like, no, it's for judo. And then they're like, oh, right. Okay.
Wow. So
I had like a rep for like a day as like this, like
badass.
Bad. Yeah.
So pretty much from 12 years old, because like from judo, you shortly thereafter went into the world of, you've been getting tested since 12. You've never failed a single test.
I've never failed a single test. I've never had any. I think I've probably like, what's the word where you, it's not a failed test. It's like where you miss, like they come and you're not where you're supposed to. I've had like maybe 2 or 3 of those my whole life. And there was a point where I was getting drug tested because you also get drug tested in competition by WADA when you compete on the international circuit. So there was a point, I think in December of 2015, like the December before the Olympics, I got drug tested in China, drug tested in Korea, drug tested in Japan. And then I came home for Christmas and I got drug tested. So I got drug tested 4 times in the span of 1 month.
Wow.
And I mean, it just became like, and that's also why I didn't stay for the stupid like infomercial for drug testing.
Yeah. So what about that? What she talked about that? Is that true?
I had unlike her, I actually have fans. So I had something I had to go do that the UFC had asked me to do. So it's hard to be the it girl and the new face of the weight class. So I didn't have to stay for the.
So it wasn't like you just dipped. The UFC knew this.
Yeah. We told them. Yeah, they knew. There was like scheduling. You know how it is with.
Did you think it was interesting that she realized or recognized or noticed that you weren't?
I don't really think about her. So.
Did you talk to each other there? Did you see each other?
I saw her at the VIP at the fights. Like you had to go to the VIP and take pictures. And so like I saw her.
Did you say anything to her?
Said hi. How are you?
Did she say anything back?
Hey.
That's it. That's the extent.
That's it.
Did you ask?
Listen, I don't have anything against a girl. I'm just like.
Well, I would if I were you. If someone's accusing me of cheating, I would have something against them.
I mean, like I said, I just think that it pisses me off because I've worked really hard my whole life, and to be an athlete, and to be a competitor, in my mind, we are held to a different standard. So like I would never, I would just never make false accusations, because what I say, the public takes in and like now is going to spew out because Juliana Pena says I'm on steroid. Like, so to me, I'm like, I'm not ever going to say something about someone unless I know it's true, because I'm in the spotlight and people listen to what I say. So, I mean, to me, it just shows no class.
Did you ask Dan about that story?
I sent him the link, the clip.
What do you say, if anything?
I don't know if I should drink.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's an accusation too. That's a pretty bad. I mean,
yeah, no, I mean, he was just like, he just started talking about her big mouth and her.
Does this make you want to fight her more?
I want to fight whoever has the belt.
Mm-hmm. It seems like we're moving towards her versus Raquel maybe in October. Do you think she beats Raquel?
No.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything bad about either. I'm like, I have nothing bad to say about
someone
them.
has to win. It's not bad. I just like, who do you think?
I think I tend to lean towards grapplers.
Okay.
Like that's just obviously. So I think Juliana has a shot. But at the same time, like, dude, she hasn't fought in how many years? In her last fight, she got absolutely mollywopped. So it's wild to me
that she's fighting for the belt.
If she's fighting for the belt.
Oh, do you think the plans might change?
I don't know. I'm not in charge.
Right. But you are, you're the golden girl. The 2 times golden girl.
I want to be. I got to prove it. Once more.
You broke the news on our live show in Newark, and what a time that was, right? Thank you so much for being a part of it. You don't remember? Jeez Louise. You've forgotten about it already.
No, I remember Newark. But...
Oh, yeah. No, it was an amazing time. No, you came with that thing on your head.
Yeah.
And no, so how is it going?
Can you see me?
Yeah, it seems okay. Is it healed?
We're good to go, baby.
100%. Cleared? You're good.
Well, technically tomorrow I get cleared. But
okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
No pain.
No pain.
And you broke it before, or you you injured it before the fight,
What
right?
movie is that from?
I don't know what that's from.
Isn't it from a Rocky? No pain. No pain.
Maybe.
No pain, Doc. I think it's Rocky 3.
Yeah. Wow, look at you. You know all the Rockies?
Oh, yeah, I know all the Rockies.
Even the one with Mason the Line Dixon? You saw that one too?
Which one?
Mason the Line Dixon.
What is that?
You just said Antonio Tarver, the last one. Rocky, no number attached to it.
Oh.
When he comes back.
Oh, like when he's an old man and
Yeah.
Adrian dies? Yeah, I watched that one time. I've watched the other 1 through 5. I used to watch every Christmas.
Wow.
Like religiously. Yeah.
Which is your favorite?
3.
That's Hulk Hogan, right? Mr. T?
Hulk Hogan, Mr. T, Clubber Lang.
Yeah.
The Eye of the Tiger. Nick
Thunderlips.
dies.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Tremendous.
Thunderlips is here.
I shook Hulk Hogan's hand for the first. I met him. He was at the fight on Saturday.
At the Republican National Convention.
No, I wasn't there. It was after that. What a scene that was, huh?
Holy cow. So you met Hulk Hogan for the first time?
He was at the fight. Yeah, front row. Hulkster.
That's badass.
What about Dana's speech? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, you saw that. You can't keep up on the American judo team, but you can watch that. You have enough bandwidth for that, do you?
That's my boss.
That's your promoter, not your boss.
Right. That's the guy who makes the call.
Sure. Did you like his speech?
Yeah, it was good. Very good.
Did you like Trump's speech?
I didn't watch all of it, but
Wow.
yeah.
That's a good employee. You watched the boss's speech, but not the.
No, I watched, of course. Like, dude, the guy just got freaking shot at.
I know.
And
crazy.
I was like, I, like the rest of America, was like, what is happening? And how's he going to handle this? To be honest with you, I'm just going to say this. Like, I don't usually get involved in politics because
Sure.
I'm a fighter, and it's also probably above my pay grade. People don't care what I think about. But I will say this. After he got hit with that bullet, he could have been like, oh, the Democrats the liberals, they missed. I can't be killed. I'm too this, I'm too that. Like, he could have made it all about him. And instead he said, I'm here by the grace of God. And I felt like that was a very powerful thing to say, because I haven't heard God talked about more in this country. And the last, it's been years since it's a revival. Like,
God's making a comeback.
God is back. I mean, he never left.
Sure. In our hearts.
In our hearts.
No, that is a nice way to put it, for sure. It was a long speech. It was I think 90 to 100 minutes long.
Yeah, I missed the bulk of it.
I watched all of it. And now there's, I don't know if you know, there's a new, Joe Biden's out. I don't know if you heard all that, but
I heard that.
breaking news. I was just telling you in
Breaking
case, because you weren't on your phone. You said you don't keep up with the news. Anyway, back to you. So you're feeling okay. And
I feel great.
what are we targeting? Can you tell us that, or when?
Hopefully I'll have an announcement soon. But
Oh, we're getting close?
yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
You know what it is.
it's not locked in, I don't think, but it's locked in. You know
like
what
it?
I mean?
You like it?
I like them all.
Okay.
I mean, I just don't think that there's, yeah, dude, I think that the bantamweights are in a world of fucking hurt.
Is this the last stop before the belt?
I think so.
Okay. It's Amanda, isn't it?
I would love that. I would love that. Do you think she's going to come out of retirement?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Have you talked to her?
What's that?
Tell me. Have you talked to her?
No, Amanda, she's very hard to get in touch with. But I mean, you don't post a video like that and not want to come out of retirement. You know what I mean? I think what my prediction is, you fight sometime in the next few months, obviously. I think Raquel and Juliana fight. You will win your fight. I don't even know. And this is, you can vouch. I've not asked you who your next opponent is. I don't even know who it is.
Know.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
I don't know. I don't ask these things. I like to keep secrets and surprises. And you will win that fight regardless of who you're fighting. Then you will fight for the belt and you will win that fight. And then you will fight Amanda in your first defense. And so if the timeline works out, I think maybe this time next year, the Amanda fight won't have happened yet because, like, you know, there's 2 more fights, right? But I think by this time next year, like, we're clearly on the path to that.
That's
Oh, is that her?
No. That sounds pretty damn good to me. I'm in.
Has this been discussed?
Yeah.
Has this roadmap been discussed? Has it been planned out or laid out?
No.
And
but in my head, that's what's up.
And what about hovering around 35? Do you feel healthy? You feel okay?
I don't know if I've hovered.
Okay.
Have you seen pictures of me lately?
No, I haven't. I mean, I'm not really.
Oh, well, that's probably because I'm not posting them out of shame. I didn't hover very well after my fight. I told myself, like, okay, don't get out of control. And then I had surgery and then I got an infection and then it was my birthday and, you know, so things got a little out of control, but I'm back on the plan. I'm back to I'm getting back to hovering.
Okay. And like, did you get, because of all that, did you get bigger than normal?
Yeah.
Wow. How, can I ask, or is that rude?
Well, after my surgery and the infection, I didn't even want to weigh myself because I could just feel how like swollen I was. But I got back up to my judo weight. I was like 170 pounds.
Wow. Are you worried about getting back down?
No.
Are you because you've done the 35 thing once now, are you like dreading it? Or because you've done it? Oh, okay. You are. But knowing that you've done it alleviates some anxiety and stress.
It's really hard.
Yeah, I know. Golly.
I mean, like, I have to do slow, steady state cardio every single day. So I either have to bike, swim, or walk 90 plus minutes every day.
Gosh.
Plus, I have to go, you know, I'm doing my regular training. So I'm wrestling or grappling or sparring. And then I have my evening training. So I'm training 3 times a day now, even though like walking obviously isn't training, but it's time, right? That's 90 minutes every day in the sun, sweating, like, or whatever, in the pool, on the bike. Yeah. And then, you know, the calories like slowly get smaller and smaller. And like right now I'm eating good, but I know that the day is coming where I'm going to be hungry all the time. And so that sucks.
By the way, when you're like walking or running or biking for 90 minutes, what do you listen to pass the time?
Well, when I'm on the bike, sometimes I read. And sometimes I just listen to music because I read that Taylor Swift sings her entire concert while she jogs.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, maybe if I sing to my chickens, it'll help with my cardio. So I sang and I sing everything from, you know, Jelly Roll, Zach Bryan. I'm going to his concert tonight. I'm super excited.
Wow. Is he the one who sings Chicken Fried?
No, that's Zach Brown.
Oh, gosh. There's 2 Zachs? Sheesh.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Zach Bryan is like
the man?
Dude, you got to come up. Yeah.
Okay. You're going to his concert. Where is it?
No. The Panthers.
Oh, Fort Lauderdale.
Sunrise.
Yeah. Or Sunrise, sorry. That's great. You're a big fan?
Yeah. I'm a fan, yeah. So Mako's wife, Kate, who's my very good friend, it's her birthday this week. So we're going to celebrate.
Amazing. I was just wondering if you listen to podcasts, maybe MMA podcasts, combat sports, to pass the time.
Sometimes.
Okay. All right.
Sometimes.
And by the way,
I mean, honestly, sometimes I just like listen to nature.
Nature soundtrack. There's nothing better. The birds.
No, nature, like not a soundtrack. Like I just like
No, I know.
walk.
That's what.
Oh, okay. I was like, dude.
No, like the birds. That's nature soundtrack. Golly, not an actual soundtrack of nature. Jeez Louise. Yes, let me play this birds chirping track
As
one.
I walk with the birds chirping.
Exactly. Could I just ask one last thing? I couldn't help but notice after UFC 300, was it 300? No, it was 303. Alex Pereira knocked out Yuri Prochaska. Didn't use any judo moves, yet somehow earned the right of getting a yellow belt from a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. What did he do in that fight to earn this distinction?
The yellow belt is a joke. Like, obviously, a yellow belt is a joke. You don't normally give adults yellow belts. So that was part of it. It was a joke.
Why yellow?
That's the order it goes. White, yellow, orange, green, blue, purple, brown, black. And to be fair to him, he was showing me the videos of him training.
Oh, okay.
And like he was kicking, like, dude, I wish that he would release this one. Oh my God. He like did the move I taught him. And then he did the move that you do if the move doesn't work. And I was like, dude, you look like a dude. It's crazy how fast he picks stuff up. Like he looked like a legit judo. Like he's foot swept the shit out of this kid. And like I'm slipping on a banana peel. When you see those really nice.
Yeah.
You don't know combat sports, but when you see.
Wow. I guess, okay.
Yeah, so I gave him a yellow belt as a joke.
Oh, it's great. And I know you've been in there with him.
Coaches knew, like they were like, they thought it would be.
Well, because it was also funny because he got the black belt after the last win and he didn't, submit. The guy's, this guy, he's just living his best life. He's just
literally living his best life, isn't he?
He pops up everywhere. He's beloved. He could do no wrong. Every time he
doesn't even speak English.
Doesn't speak English.
But his character comes across, I think, I think that's what's that's what makes a superstar special is you can feel their aura and their character and I don't even know if you call it charisma, but like, that thing that
he has
charisma.
He
has charisma. And I'm just happy for him. Like when you hear his story and hear like, he probably doesn't talk about it a lot, but like he was an alcoholic and he started competing. Like, I'm like, dude, that's badass. Like I just love to see it.
I was just going to say, you took the word, he has, like, as the kids say, your kids may say like plus 10,000 aura, like the highest level aura.
Is that a thing that kids say?
Mm-hmm. Your kids don't?
No, he has the highest aura for sure.
But I don't know if you heard this, the great Jake Paul called him out on Saturday.
I did see that because you posted it. Obviously, I follow you. I'm your number one fan.
Are you worried about this? If he takes this fight, are you worried about?
Are you kidding me?
What do you think happened? What do you think happens? What do you think happens in a boxing match?
That is a Jake Paul fight I would go to.
Yeah.
Just so I could that hook land.
You think it happens early? Like you think he just completely smokes him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think Jake Paul really wants to fight him?
How much does Jake Paul weigh? Like, what does he weigh?
220.
Oh, yeah, dude. Dude. I also grappled with Alex. And I'm not, like, dude, he's a strong mother trucker, Like, obviously he didn't really grapple with me. But, like, I just felt his, like, natural, like, fucking fixing tires must, like, build a different kind of... How come no one accuses him of being on steroids?
That's true. That's a good point. That actually is a great point, but I'm just wondering, do you think that Jake really wants to fight him? Or do you think that
No, of
he called him out because he
he's
knows?
he's trying to steal some aura.
Right. Ah, there it
But these
is.
people, they're vampires, fucking just trying to steal some. You can't steal his shine. You
Well-
have to be like a different level human to have that kind of
You have to be Sigma. He is Sigma.
Sigma. Sure. I don't know what that means either.
You know who else has aura? You have aura, Kayla, and you're a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and you got me ready for my big journey. And I'm looking forward to it. And
I have one last question for you.
I just-
do you have to do? Are you doing the interviews in French or
bien
English?
sûr, je dois parler français avec les athlètes de Canada. Je vais travailler pour Radio-Canada. Et je vais être là-bas parler des Jeux Olympiques. Ça, c'est pourquoi ils m'ont... you don't understand what I'm saying anymore. This is why they chose me, or part of the reason why they chose me, because I'm bilingual.
You're bilingual. And that face, you know.
Yeah, I mean...
Made for radio.
I was going to say, after 2 weeks, we could both call each other Olympians, not former. Actually, I'll be more current than you.
Can you not do that?
I'm gonna try to find a medal and take a photo of it and say, "How you like me now?"
Well, has Canada ever won a gold medal in judo? I don't think they have.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, "Has Canada ever won a gold medal?" Period. That would have been harsh.
Well, that would also suffice.
No, we have a Canadian, a male Canadian. This name, I've been doing my research. Family originally from Egypt, now in Canada, and he is a prospect, like a name that people think might medal. He's a yes. So we have a shot.
All right, let's go.
I'll keep you
Coaching
posted.
USA. All right, my friend. Travel safe.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
having
All the
me.
best, and we look forward to seeing you soon, maybe in the next couple months.
Yeah, boy. I'll see you soon.
All right, there she is,
All right.
the great Kayla Harrison joining us. What a gem of a lady she is.
Shamba.
Yeah, there it is. My mother was just saying that she liked my French. See, she gave me the stamp of approval.
She's watching the show.
She is.
Hello.
She's one of our own, a lot of one of our owns today on the program. But I'm looking forward to the trip. And I see OC saying over here that I'm going to get shoved in a locker in Paris. No, there's no shoving going on. Yes, 24-inch Dub says that Ana Godinez will be over in Paris. She is the sister of Lupi Godinez, and she'll be competing not in judo though, in wrestling, I believe it is. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, okay, Ariel's talking about this Olympic stuff. What the hell is going on? And we did talk about this, but a quick reminder for those that may have missed it. So tomorrow I'm going. Wednesday, there's going to be a special edition of the program hosted by GC and Rick. That's correct?
Accurate.
Who, me? Yes. And I'm looking forward to that.
So am I.
Perhaps I'll make... Do you have anything you want to promote, or is it all still in the works?
Just tune in. Come hang.
The people love those shows.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Come hang out.
Come hang out with your boys.
Oh, yeah.
A little this, little that.
The final stop before Co-op Live Arena. And then on Saturday, are you doing a watch party, GC?
Sure are, yeah.
Where are we doing it from this time?
Edition. We are once again at the Michoud Mansion.
Love it.
In Atlanta, Georgia.
So that's on Saturday. Then after, there will be another edition of the program. It will most likely be audio only. So please do subscribe because the schedule will be a little bit wonky. But there'll be a post 304 edition of the program, post pay-per-view Monday, that will come out on Monday. It may not be on the channel, on the YouTube channel, because we'll do audio, because I don't know what the internet situation is going to be like over there. I think it's okay, but who knows? And so we'll react to everything that transpired at 304. That will be on the 29th. On the 31st, another GC and Rick show. So stay tuned for that. And then on the 5th, we will be doing another post Abu Dhabi, post Riyadh season LA card. Same thing as the upcoming Monday show. So like a recap, post show, whatever you want to call it, that will come out on Monday. Most likely audio only. And then GC and Rick on August the 5th for another show. So you're getting 2 from me, 3 from them. And that's the schedule for the next few weeks. Now, I would be remiss if I don't talk about this. I'm the insider guy, and I like to try to take you sometimes behind the scenes and tell you what's going on with things that are happening in the sport. And so I feel like it would be a little bit hypocritical of me to not tell you what's going on with my life. As you probably know, I've talked about the contract coming to an end with both here and Spotify. And it's been an amazing 3-year run. And my plan, my hope, was on the final show before I go to Paris that I would be able to share what the next step would be. But, these things sometimes take a little longer than we expect. And as a wise man once said, the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. And so I don't have an announcement to make. What I can say is there is a chance that this is the final time that you'll see me sitting in this chair, hosting this show from this studio. There's a chance that you'll see me back here in a month. I really don't know. As I sit here, that's the God honest truth. It's all very much up in the air. There's a lot of exciting things being discussed, but it could go this way, it could go that way, it could go that way. And so I did want to acknowledge at least that there is a chance that this could be the last one, or there's a chance that you'll see me back here when this whole Olympic journey is all said and done. I remember in 2018 when I was going to ESPN, I knew that it was the last time, and so I got very emotional, but I can't because I really don't know how things are going. But I didn't want to just do the show and ignore all of that. It's moving along, but like I said, I would have liked for everything to be figured out in April. But what we're maneuvering, MacGyvering, what we're trying to pull off, what we're efforting is a very unique thing. And it's something that I can't wait to talk to everyone about when it all comes to fruition. And so if you could just bear with us, by the time I think the Olympics are over, I will have a full story to share. So the timing didn't quite work out for today's program, but we're moving in that direction, and I will know. And I'm curious. I'm as curious as everyone else. Of course, I'm as curious because it is my life and affects other people's lives as well. But I'm curious to see how the whole situation will play out. So stay tuned. Thank you for your patience. I don't even want to talk about the end. I don't want to do all that stuff because it may be all for naught. There's a different date for all of that if that is in fact the case. But I did just kind of want to acknowledge that because yes, I will not be here on Wednesday or next Monday or the next Wednesday, etc. And then we go up to the contract end date, which is August 15th. So interesting times. It's all coming together. It's all happening. And I'm very, very, very excited by the way everything is shaping up. But I'm curious to see how the whole story plays out. I kind of want to, it's like when you play one of those video games and you press simulation because you just want to get to the end. At this point, I just want to get to the end. Almost there, but not quite there yet to talk about the end because I really don't know how it's going to go. Next few days will be very interesting in my life. So there's the update for you, and I hope it suffices. And so let's see. Let us see how it all plays out. Sort of like when I was talking about, the 303 fight, and I was telling you there's optimism, there's pessimism. Right now, it's 50-50. It's 50-50. Let us see. All right. That out of the way, quick word from our good friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. 304 coming up. Yeah, Saturday night. I'm told you could also bet on the Olympics over on DraftKings Sportsbook. They are the official sports betting partner of the UFC. Obviously, 2 title fights. You got the welterweight title fight, undisputed Leon Edwards going up against Bilal Muhammad. Interim, a.k.a. real heavyweight title fight, Tom Aspinall going up against Curtis Blades. And it's a stacked card. It's a really great card, as we've been talking about. The likes of Arnold Allen and Oban Elliott, who have joined us today, will be on the card as well, among many others. If you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers can bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code TheMAR. That's code TheMAR for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or in West Virginia, visit www.100gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY, text HOPE-NY, that's 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resorts in Kansas. 21 plus age rated by jurisdiction. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. See terms and responsible gaming resources over at dkng.co/MMA. Thank you very much to DraftKings. Appreciate their support. And like I said at the top, I think the pals are rolling.
Well, the pals are on fire, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. I've started getting messages from Juliana Pena on Saturday evenings and Sunday mornings with excitement about how we won. I mean, if we can put the graphic up, we've come a long way from talking about disbanding the Parlay Pals because we had not won one the entire year of 2024, and now here we are. I want to say since we made that decree, since the first week of April, which was about 3.5 months ago now, I want to say we've only lost twice. It could be more than that, but we were down as much as 9 units. We have climbed all the way back to up 6 units. It feels like we're rolling right now. Just feels like we
forgot
can't
to tell
miss.
you. The fire marshal actually showed up at my apartment yesterday.
Oh, wow. After Jake Paul got his hand raised.
Yeah, he was just like, damn. And that was it. He just left. It was a weird interaction.
Oh, that's all he said to you. He didn't even mention the Parlay Pals or the boys.
I knew why he was there. You know, good knows knows good.
Yeah, so I mean, we're rolling. Feels good.
By the way, Juliana also texted me in the middle, right before the Paul fight, saying like something. You guys needed that fight, right? Or who picked the Paul? Who picked the Paul fight? It was Frank, right?
Frankie, of course. Yeah.
No.
That was our
So
last.
she's like,
fight.
yeah, we need this.
Fight.
Yeah. She's like, we need this. She also talked smack to me because I said that the fight was going to go the distance, and then Woodley bet me 10 push-ups that it wouldn't. And she's like, you can't even do 10 push-ups, which I thought was crazy that she would say that. Like, I'm working. Suck it! Yeah, exactly.
Can you do 10 push-ups? You can greg them out?
Of course. What are you
Chest to ground?
What?
Chest to ground. You know, keep the elbows tight, proper form, everything like that. All right, here we go on the set. On the set. Here we go.
Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you. Oh, I can't believe this. I mean, this man is, he's taking it personally. There's 1. Oh, yeah, there's 2. 3, 4, 5.
Should I call the fire marshal again?
Slowly.
Yeah, he's 8, 9. I mean, he's ripping through these.
Keep going?
Yeah, keep going. 11.
Suck it, man.
12. 13, not bad. Not bad.
Now, camera. Where is it? How did it look? How did it look with that camera?
Yeah, it looks good, man.
How did I look?
There it is.
Couldn't be better.
Look at that.
Just this morning, we mopped it up before you came in.
That's not bad, right?
Its chest is on fire. He just doesn't want to admit it.
What? My chest on fire? What was that?
I say
feeling
kid's
all right?
chest is on fire right now.
How'd I look?
Try not to
It
breathe
looks good,
directly
man.
into the
That was good
microphone.
stuff. Did you have to do that for Tyrone Woodley?
Nah, he never asked.
Oh.
But I just
Well,
wanted.
you could just send him that as
That's
as visual
a
evidence.
shocking bet. 10 push-ups?
I mean, come on. You guys don't think I could do 10 push-ups? What kind of a twerp do you think I am? Oh yeah.
No, I'm saying like that's
Who, me?
that's what we wanted to do for a bet was 10 measly push-ups.
Well, I mean, he I guess everyone thinks that I'm. 1 second, I'm just out of breath. You guys go ahead.
Yeah, rest of the picks. We lost the Iron Turtle, unfortunately. Was hoping to get a perfect night, clean sweep. Don't get it. Man, the Lemos loses. Vienna Jandarova looks great. Maybe title shot next, depending on some circumstances. We might get a Vienna Jandarova title shot. Maybe she'll walk out to the song again. So yeah, essentially break even. Get 0.05 units back into the green. Yeah, just been hovering around this like 13 to 11 units down in 2024 for like 2 months now. But we're breaking out of it this weekend for 304. A lot of my guys that I'll be riding with this weekend. And then, I broke even, but a couple big hitters. Our guy Marcus Allen, just always hitting me up with these ridiculous. I mean, this is what is this? 23 legs. I see Rafael Nadal in there. I see New Zealand. I see Jake Paul. I see Amanda Serrano. I think that's KO. I don't know if that's money line. Either way, 39.50, wildly specific number there, into $11,183. I think that's plus 28,312 on that. So yeah, Marcus Allen, Marky Nude stays winning. One other, the movie man Mike, Moneyline Mike. A lot of different names for him. $5 into 552 plus 10,941. Miranda Maverick, Duho Choi by KO, Bruno Silva inside the distance, Steve Garcia inside the distance, Virna Jandarova all over the gaff. So congratulations to Mike. Congratulations to Mark. Those are the big hitters for this week. I feel like this music's getting louder and louder.
Also, how come the music came on?
Playing me off?
Well, how come it was like midway through?
We didn't do our whole big hitters intro.
Yeah, I've only been doing one or two lately. I haven't been getting as many submissions. Though, I don't want to do one or two and have the whole intro and all that jazz. Next week, though. Next week.
Well, congratulations to all the big hitters. I mean, it wasn't the best card, let's be honest. Who's really locked in? Shout out to Virna. First main event.
Shout out to Virna, man.
Big win over Amanda
Win by
Lemos.
finish.
The card started slow, but ended with some nice
main card
stoppages.
was great.
Steve Garcia.
Was very entertaining.
Yeah, there were some nice finishes on it. It was a lot of lulls, and then in between the lulls were some really good stuff.
Steve
Hyder
Garcia.
Emil. Just going for it.
Bruno Silva with a nice win. Shout out to the Hall of Famer, the Korean Superboy, Duho Choi, getting his first win since I think 2016, right?
Yes.
That's crazy, man.
That's how hot the Parlay Pals are. That was Juliana's original pick.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, we're winning the ones that we don't even put in. I mean, this is
It's crazy. The cold streak's going to hurt bad.
We're on higher. No, there's no cold streak. We're rolling.
Yeah, he was a pretty big, no, not pretty big underdog. Was he like a?
It was like even money, right? It was like close to even, I think.
Yeah, I think it was like a plus 140 or something. You're definitely getting a plus sign next to that name.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
The Rising card is this weekend as well with the Manny Pacquiao fight. And 304, Joe Joyce returning.
Who's Manny Pacquiao fighting? I forgot.
What time is this?
I gotta look this up.
It doesn't say it on. Oh, here it is. Rukaya Anpo.
Okay.
Is he?
Shut up.
Is he the? He could. I mean, on Tapology, he's the first fight. That can't be possible, right?
I feel like they do some wacky stuff. No, don't. Isn't it like Ryzen doesn't release the full orders?
Oh,
like I think it will shake out differently.
Well, it's 152 pounds, 3 3-minute rounds.
Great. This is Jake Paul versus random cruiserweight right here for me.
Wow.
Yeah,
really?
no shot. I'm watching that. I got big fish to fry on Saturday.
All right, fine. I did want to mention they did announce on Saturday that the Nick Diaz-Vicente Luque fight is off.
Yeah.
Some travel issues there. Looking to rebook it in the next couple of months. So I guess it was
Nick Diaz at the Sphere?
No.
Oh.
That'd be great, right?
Nick Diaz in Salt Lake City?
Maybe. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing Nick Diaz in Salt Lake City. Just, the cardio could be on display.
Yeah, bit of elevation, help him out.
Also, Aljamain Sterling against Movsar Evloev seems to have been announced.
Down for that.
That's Utah?
Yeah, I believe that was Utah.
307. And you guys into the Dirty Boxing League?
Don't know. TBD.
Yeah. Gotta wait and see on that.
Got to see who they can call over. Got to see what the rule set actually looks like when it's all said and done.
No TV deal or anything.
No TV deal yet.
I was surprised that they
start a
announced
promotion.
I got the email. I got the email on Friday morning, and they said Mike Perry's going to make an announcement. I was like, "What? What's going on here on Friday night?" But it was just that.
If
you pulled up, you were part of like the media pool. Did you ask any questions?
Hell yeah, I asked a bunch.
Oh yeah, he was there.
I was asking all the questions.
He's like, "What are the rules set?" I was locked in. They need to make a big splash off the bat. They can't. What they can't do is come in with like, we're gonna slow build, from a first event perspective. Maybe for second, maybe for third, you kind of tamper down. But like, they need like a Darren Till versus Mike Perry. They need to do something that's gonna make people tune in. Otherwise, it's gonna come and go.
Yeah,
Mike Perry should try and get Conor McGregor for the first event.
I think Perry versus Conor is a real thing. There's a built-in storyline. They went from being. They went from.
Do they fight in bare knuckle for Perry
for his promotion? Oh, that would actually be fun. Loser leaves town match. No, they first.
Conor just owns it after
they squared off
the occupation belt.
They squared off. Then they became pals, where he's saying like, "We're rooting for you," and then he's like, "You let me down."
I'm very serious. I think he's more hard up on the business end of it than the Jake Paul thing. I really don't think he cares that he lost to Jake.
You think he feels blindsided?
Not blindsided, like for all intents and purposes, right? Mike Perry has been very good for BKFC, but BKFC has been very good for Mike Perry, right? It gave him a place to kind of land and establish himself and pays him well. And he's like, I'm starting my own promotion. I actually get. I wouldn't have phrased it in the unhinged way that Conor McGregor did. I get why he'd be upset. I truly do.
If that is the reason.
If that's the reason.
Right.
That is maybe me projecting my own reason onto it, but I would be upset.
I feel like Conor McGregor, entrepreneur to the max, is open to things like that. And not ruling with an iron fist.
Not from those tweets.
Yeah.
He's not.
Well, no, but we don't know the reason. But let's see. There's a lot of time. I hope Mike takes some time off. He was great all week. Obviously got hit very hard. Deserves some time off. And so let's see where he goes from here. I was wondering why you were wearing the Man City hat. It took me a while.
Wow.
Well, they're playing
and the Aspinall hoodie.
They're playing at MetLife on Saturday. So I thought
I wish I could be there, but no, it is actually just for the card being in Manchester.
And you chose Man City and not Man United.
And we might have to just tune in on Wednesday, see what a Manchester man brings to the table, baby.
Oh, my dear.
Get people riled up.
All right. Well, I'll be watching that. I look forward to that. But it's time to go. So thank you, gents. Appreciate it. Good luck on Wednesday. Looking forward to all
good
the
luck in Paris, brother.
Thank you. Oh, no. Don't forget the good luck. Frank needs to go. He's quick on the music.
I thought that was the cue.
No.
I was going to say, enjoy the City of Lights.
Thank you.
Or is it the Windy City? What do they call it nowadays?
No, Windy City is Chicago.
It's the Big Apple.
The Sunshine State?
I was just there, yeah. No, it is the City of Lights. Maybe I'll team up with Cedric Doumbé over there. We could do...
oh, baby. Let's go.
Swing by MMA Factory?
Go check out Fernand Lopez and Cyril Gane and the boys. Maybe a little training sesh with Benoit Saint-Denis.
Wow, now we're really talking.
Maybe a little skateboarding sesh with Manon Fierot.
It's going to be amazing,
Maybe you can get Daft Punk back together.
Them too.
Croissants?
Have a little croissant, chocolat chaud, and pain au chocolat. You know what pain au chocolat is?
That's bread chocolate.
Bread with chocolate?
Chocolate bread.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Petit baguette.
A bag of tea bag.
No, a little baguette.
Yeah, I was
all
gonna
right.
say.
Café au lait. You know that, of course.
Coffee.
With?
Milk.
Yeah.
Or is it late coffee?
You know yourself, Frankie. No, it's going to be great. I look forward to it. You'll see plenty of me, so don't worry. And the boys will be picking up the slack, and it's going to be a grand old time. Thank you very much to all the guests today. Terence Crawford, Kayla Harrison, Arnold Allen, Oban Elliott. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to all of them. Back very soon. Same time, maybe different place, same time. I don't know. Who knows? Until then, I say peace. I'm out of here.